Hello, everybody. How's it going? Oh, I need to mute this. I need to pop this over here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait, why did it... Hello? Moderate? Nope, that's the wrong channel. You'd think I'd have this down pat by now. I don't. Alright. There we go. Close that. All the announcements have been made. Awesome. Okay, sweet. Fresh that there. Perfect! Alright! Hi, everybody. Hello, Atomic. Hi, Try. Mr. Bean. Span. Kimmin2. Welcome to chat. I need to pull up everything. Woke up a little late today. Hello, Zagaball. How are you doing today? Zagabale, sorry. Genshin should have taught me how to pronounce that name properly. But I got it wrong anyway. Alright, let's take a peek. I'm gonna swap this over to... No, we're gonna leave that. We're gonna pop this here. Swap game capture over to here. There we go. Okay, actually, let me adjust the volumes here. Hey, Saris! 5, did you see the thing? What thing? Assume that's a no.
Thank you. I haven't felt the need for food for a long time. But this plate of green vegetables, berries, and red crumbs is indeed appetizing.
Your propaganda, I'm just kidding, your testing and defending and Mr. Poke's testing and defending has paid off. Congratulations. Congratulations on Aglaya hitting tier 2 and Pride Win. Or tier 0 and Pride Win. Sorry, I'm still waking up. Cute Birdman! I love Gitian. Who's your favorite character in reverse? Oh, that's a good question. Hang on. I forgot all my characters. Have I not dismissed these already? I guess not. It's probably gonna have to be 6. Just because of his story and his character development through the story. I'd have to say 6 is probably my favorite. Yeah. Lucy's like a close second, though. Mine is Cineto. Cineto's cute. I love Cineto. Thank you. I'm proud of Poke being the Aglaya stan. Look, someone's got to fight for her, okay? Festival, level up. That's a cute tenant skin. I've been really busy this week. I haven't, like, hopped on and looked at things. Oh, that's a cute tenant skin. Damn. Unfortunately, I don't have her built in. I don't use her. Tenant, first name David. Hi, Chibi. Gotta grab my gotchas, but my brain won't let me, Sag. Never feel bad about needing a break. I haven't logged into Reverse 1999 in like 3 or 4 days now. A game will have you coming back regardless of your dailies. Or rather, it should have you coming back regardless of your dailies.
That's what the book says.
You know what I should do? I think one of these days.
What a fresh air. Rains help crops grow better. I love raining. Let's fix it out and have a walk.
I love our American representation. One of these days, I think one thing I should do is I should have a stream where all I do is sit down and go through like my furniture placement and my little houses and stuff throughout all of my games. And we're just gonna sit there and we're just gonna have like a furniture rearranging stream. Because I haven't updated my Genshin one in a while. I haven't sat down and rearranged my wilderness since the critter update happened. My blue archive rooms are a mess. Like, I need to sit there and rearrange some shit. Southern accent. Well, it was very pretty. I'm saving for Flutter page, though. First summon by 10 is only 7 Unilogs. Who am I missing? Sure, you know what? We'll do 1 7 pull for Sotheby. We did not get Sotheby.
Welcome. No, it's a bit faster.
I haven't renewed my monthly pass because I haven't been logging in every day. Once I get back into being a bit more consistent, I'll probably pick it up again. What the hell is that? Oh yeah, fucking Euphorias have dropped. I probably have to. I need to sit down and figure out how the fuck that works. Oh, Tooth Fairy's in the shop right now. If you don't have her, it's a good pickup. If you don't have her, you should grab her.
Who wants some bunny yummy breaker?
What the fuck? History's biggest scam is gaslighting people to think that beer is good when it's literally just wheat juice. I stand by my assertion that no one actually likes beer, and everyone is rather Stockholm syndromed into liking it because they associate it with having a good time. Shit tastes awful, bro. I both liked and disliked the critter stuff. I'm done building Vila. This time to start building. Oh, congratulations on pulling Willow. I'm still building these 3. Fucking broke ass.
You said it yourself.
Look at this.
My room.
What the fuck?
And I may do with it as I please.
Alright. What the fuck is Puppet Arena? Is this Euphoria stuff?
The Fogwalker has requested the Foundation's assistance.
Trailer time.
Due to a mysterious change in the small, they've been experiencing extraordinary rates of tuberculosis. We need someone experienced in medicine to go to London and investigate.
Miss Tooth Fairy, I'm Brimley, the ranger colleague of Arthur Fogg. There's a lot more going on here than meets the eye.
Hat. Riding a toy horsey.
Watch your head!
Are you here for the Uluru Games? Here in Cross Street, we're all celebrating the upcoming Uluru qualifiers.
Test. Oh, it's a little loud.
I'm Flutterpage. I wake everyone up in the morning. The most amazing witch lives here too. These snails are for her to eat.
Is she French?
Why? You've seen her in France? I've never even seen her leave the house.
It's all because of her, that fog hag. She's the one who created the black fog. She's caused us.
To protect the health of all involved, the London Uluru qualifiers have been cancelled.
Why should I care? I'm no athlete. I've only got one leg. Just like I've nothing to do with the Uluru Games.
The qualifiers would have held the floor ritual. She was a once-in-a-generation floor ritualist.
We'll just have to hold our own games.
With blackjack and hookers.
The challenge? Charlotte O'Hagan.
Years.
I don't care what anyone thinks.
We love women. Is this house fucking blinking at me? Ma! There's a weird fucking house outside. I don't like the way it's looking at me. Puppet's undying. Hunger for victory. Period ancient owner do with puppet fighters imitation artifacts. Pressure rotating new combination. Oh, okay, no, this is a new event. This is a new like gameplay thing. Oh, this is the buffs. I think, maybe. Oh my god, I haven't done Limbo yet. I need to fucking do Limbo. It looks like Grandma the fucking thing. But good stuff, Kim. I was also, I was hooked ever since it released in CN, and as soon as they announced Global, I also pre-registered for it. So yeah, I'm also Global Day 1 player here. The art style is just great. Love it. Scare Lucy, the poor thing. Rubs my little hands together. Let's go. First day back in London. Hey, Rover.
I'm ready to go.
Please fasten your seatbelt, miss. We're setting off now. You ever been to London, miss?
VTuber ass background?
Yes, a long time ago.
Long, eh? 5 years? 10 years?
Longer than that.
Come on, Van. How long? You don't look 100 years old. The hospital is 2 streets away. Oh, by the way, it's been arranged for you to meet Mr. Fogg first, and then he'll show you around the hospital.
I don't see why we need to make a big deal out of a simple visit.
Couldn't agree more, miss. But as this is an official visit by Mr. Fogg, as a servant of the Crown, you can rightly expect that they're going to have the old place decked out like Christmas.
Thank you for taking me there directly. I will go to Mr. Fogg's office after my visit. You can leave without me. I think I'd like to take the underground.
The tube? You won't like it, miss. Not the kind of place for a decent young lady. I'll wait here for you, love. I'll do my best not to crack into my flask of whiskey while I wait.
Thank you. I'll be back soon.
It's alright. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Uluru, London, qualifier open. When is this set? 1940s? That's a good question. I'm not actually entirely sure when this event is set.
How are things at SPDM, Tooth Fairy? I'm hearing rave reviews about their school physician.
I'm glad to hear it. Young children are particularly easy to soothe. A few candies and they behave just fine. A little toffee or a nibble of a fruity sweet, and they've forgotten all about the Tooth Fairy's taste.
1930 and 1935, so this takes place in the past? Like, this event takes place before the main, before the main story?
A proper dose of sweets serves to calm the nervous system, and that doesn't just apply to kids.
Just a guess, because of Flutter Page's job in child labor. Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess this would take this should take place in the past then. She pulls a piece of milk candy out of her pocket and softly places it beside Madame Z's mug of strong tea.
Your work here is undoubtedly busier than mine at SPDM. Besides, you're directly responsible for our timekeeper, the little troublemaker.
Okay, but the timekeeper's already here.
But I am sure you didn't summon me here all for a little chit-chat.
Unless we're talking about another timekeeper. Madame Z unwraps the candy and places it in her mouth, allowing it to slowly dissolve. Then she places a stack of papers on the table before Tooth Fairy.
The Foundation has now confirmed a correlation between social turmoil and the emergence of the storm. Our branches around the world are now making efforts to collect information on these key social movements. As you may know, there was a strike that has only just ended in London. And there is something I'd like to show you, besides the strike itself.
Tooth Fairy rapidly flips through the papers. She quickly spots the crucial element.
Tuberculosis.
Indeed. There appears to be abnormalities concerning air pollution and reported cases of TB. Compared to our records before the storm, TB morbidity rates are extraordinarily high, approaching levels that shouldn't be seen until the Great Smog of 1952.
Okay. So she says until the Great Smog of 1952, so we know for a fact this at least takes place before 52.
Our Mr. Fogg, the Fog Walker, has also reported that there is something unusual about the composition of the fog.
Is this Oliver?
So, we need an insider with knowledge of the storm to visit London. Ideally one with a medical background.
Hang on, I'm just going to adjust my reactive here a little bit. You know what I should do? I should just have different layers for different games. There we go.
I see.
Hi, Malika Cat.
I know, your winter vacation just started. But I'm sure you understand the dire situation we find ourselves in. I'll apply for a special allowance for this field mission. What do you say?
So the storms occur during states of social upheaval? Yes. That seems to be one of the catalysts, which was something that we learned pretty early on in the story. Because the very first one during the story takes place during the Great Depression. No, not during the Great Depression. Was it during the Great Depression? Somewhere around that time.
I'd be happy to go. Perhaps I'll collect some rare teeth from this era.
Seems like the storms are deliberate, possibly. We still, the whole thing is trying to figure out why the storms happen and where they're coming from, etc. We just recently learned that the storms don't, like, actually kill people like we thought. It teleports them and almost like reincarnates them in a different time. So, yeah, the timeline's kind of weird here.
Good luck then. Mr. Fogg will contact you when you arrive. He is our liaison between the Foundation and the British government.
Okay, no, so that can't be Oliver.
He'll take you to the hospital, handling many of these respiratory patients. You will be given full trust to resolve this problem. There is something else. The Uluru qualifier will soon be held in London. It may factor into your investigation.
Uluru qualifier? Uluru London qualifier coming soon. Arcanist Fair in Cross Street.
Whenever a storm would appear during other catastrophic events, maybe any of the 2 world wars. During the story, there was one that took place during World War II? I can't remember where the bombers came from. It was one of the world wars, and that was like... that was part of the reveal at the end of the story arc.
Support your favorite competitors. Winners will represent Great Britain in the Australian finals.
Australia? They shipped my uncle off to Australia back in the day. I always figured he got done in by a kangaroo. But if the Smoky gets any worse, I think I might chance it. Maybe I'll find him in the outback there. Or at least avenge him.
With a tense frown, Tooth Fairy folds the flyer. The Uluru Games are not her current focus.
That smoke seems to have severely damaged that hospital. But you don't seem concerned.
The hospital fucking exploded. Why are you so calm?
We've seen worse, miss. You wouldn't believe how many houses we lose a year to gas line explosions. Nothing much can shock us Londoners. It's a city where you can meet arcanists from all over the world. Arabians, North Africans, Indians, and Japanese. Who knows what kind of arcane skill they can cast?
The police are on the scene now, but can they really do anything to clean up the hospital?
Well, police have got their own way of dealing with things. None too friendly. I think you should bring this up to Mr. Fogg. He's one of the few folks that look out for the working man, and he's never afraid of calling out the upper class.
I suspect Mr. Fogg will have known before we did. Let's follow the path of this dark soot on the street. Maybe we can find it, or its owner.
Anime Michael Caine.
As you like, miss.
The car makes its way eastward, weaving through the increasingly narrow streets.
Seems it's leading us to the East End. Only thing that comes out of the East End are drunks, tramps, and Jack the Ripper.
The brake screech as the car comes to an abrupt halt. The car shudders from some impact as a child's scream fills the air.
Bloody!
What the hell? Did he run over a kid? A sudden stabbing pain strikes the nerve in Tooth Fairy's temple. She almost stumbles as she rushes to exit the car. The driver pokes his head through the car window, scrambling to justify his mistake.
Miss, I swear to high heaven that I have not had a drop of drink today. This is the East End for you. Either you hit someone, or someone hits you.
Insurance fraud.
Please, miss, take a look for me. Tell me if I hit anything. I can take it.
Dude, get out of the car.
It appears there's no one in front of the car.
No one?
I'm up here!
Look up there, miss!
Tooth Fairy looks up to see a flurry of papers fluttering and spinning through the sky. A particularly vibrant bundle of fabric resembling some kind of burlap sack hurtles through the center.
Can you catch me?
Huh?
The little girl's skirt catches the wind and she drifts weightlessly through the air. The colorful scraps of paper spiral through the air and swirl around her. They're all Uluru flyers still waiting to be distributed.
She's being lifted up on the wind. Is this her arcane skill? If so, she's amazing for her age.
She gently descends, seemingly headed straight into Tooth Fairy's arms, but at the last moment she shifts direction and lands softly a few steps away.
You lose. You weren't going to qualify for nothing like that.
Are you hurt at all?
Why would I be? It's not even as high up as a canary nest. It's no sweat with the help of little wind. But the Sutakiki was hurt. The car hit his waist.
Is this Sutakiki your friend?
Yes, but he ran away. He's probably angry. I bet he's still around. He don't forgive easy.
She points toward the shadowy alley to her left, where, in a dark, smoggy corner, a pair of glowing eyes peek out from behind a garbage bin.
See? Over there. That's the Sutakiki, and I'm Flutterpage.
Could you bring your friend out? I'd like to make amends if I hurt him. Especially if he can't work.
Oh, he doesn't work, but you still need to apologize.
True. Flutterpage turns toward the alley, waving into the shadows to call over her friend.
Come on out, Sutakiki. This bloke here wants to apologize to you.
The Sutakiki stirs in the shadows, disturbing the pale yellow smog before suddenly leaping forward.
That thing doesn't even have a waist. And he's as big as a kangaroo.
His waist is right there. Can't you see?
A frightened critter is dangerous. Please stay back, child.
We're gonna kill this fucking guy. Oh, it's level 30. I always overthink these.
I'll do my best.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he's so cute.
Sir, I suggest you cover your mouth and nose. There's something off about this smog.
Christ, so the rumours are true. I never should have gone into an alley like this on such a smoggy day.
He's looking at the end of the alley. He must want to go that way.
The smog's not as thick there. I think he wants to escape. Maybe the smog's harmful to him too.
Oh wait, no, I don't want to auto. Dang it! I want to look at the guy. He's gonna fucking die now. Oh wait, no, he's fine.
Careful with the pages.
Oh, okay. It just applies poison to everybody on the field. Look at him! He's so cute! I love him. This is good news for my Jessica, though.
Be serious. Off your legs. Be serious. Stay focused. No!
Come back. I need your feedback on our session.
Bollocks! Turn over already, you stupid car!
The engine roars to life again, its pistons drumming the retreat as the car careens through the streets.
Why did Mr. Driver run away like the Sutakiki?
He was worried for his car. If it got damaged, it could cost him his job.
Lose his job? Oh, got it. I don't want to lose my job neither.
The little girl gives an empathetic nod, but a child her age has no place in anything to do with the word work.
He has a car, so I wager he makes more than 6 pence a week. How did he get that job? Can I do it too?
I suppose you could, once you grow up. Here, open your mouth.
Tooth Fairy produces a shimmering jar of ointment made from ground golden fairy and lanolin, a concoction capable of soothing one's fear of swallowing a tooth fairy for the first time.
What's this?
You were hurt. It's a kind of ointment. It will numb the pain if you ingest it, or reduce the inflammation if you rub it on the wound.
Hey Rick, thank you for the follow.
Was I hurt? I feel a little pain. But what do you mean by inflammation? Does that mean I'll catch on fire?
Take it, and you will feel much better. Doctor's orders, kid.
The little girl's curiosity easily trumps her hesitation toward the unfamiliar. She stretches her neck and sucks Tooth Fairy's ointment-covered finger.
Huh?
It's a bit sour, like a moldy raspberry, but still sweet. Why aren't other pills as sweet as yours? I see. So you're a witch doctor, aren't ya? I can tell from your metal mask, teeth necklace, and the golden fairies in your jar.
She does kind of look like a witch.
That is a reasonable assumption.
So you're here for the Uluru Fair then? Must be. You even got the flyer with you.
Actually, I'm here as a doctor to investigate a tuberculosis outbreak. But the strange black fog damaged the hospital I was heading to. I followed the trace it left behind to this area.
Black fog? There ain't no black fog. Around here the smog is yellow, and sometimes I've seen black smoke puffing up from the factory chimneys. But never in Cross Street. As like to be an arcane skill, miss. Lots of us arcanists here. That's why we're all chuffed up for the Uluru qualifiers. There's herbalists, psychics, diviners, magicians.
Thank you, Flutterpage. I think I've got the idea.
Left to her own devices, Flutterpage could recite the job of every arcanist in the entire street.
Great! Then I'll show you around. You'll like it here.
Flutterpage grabs Tooth Fairy's hand and drags her toward the heart of Cross Street. Hey guys, cute so far. You know, aside from like the tuberculosis outbreak. So sure is issued to all Uluru qualifier participants and enthusiasts. Full details are found on the back. Champion of the Borough has begun. 1 vote per person. Mock Uluru games are open to all. Shooting, racing, ball games, 7 challenges. Victor Cinema. Legendary Uluru Athletes documentary series is now in theaters. Uluru Trivia Night, held every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 2 tickets to a featured event. Puck's Fortune Telling. Match predictions and good luck charms await you at Puck's Fortune Telling. Cute. Things on Thursday wouldn't be another 10 years before the cure for tuberculosis was discovered and developed, so everyone is still fucked. Oops. Oops. I guess that's why we're here. Swallows in the Chimney, Part 2.
Welcome to Cross Street!
Makeshift stalls line the street as the Arcanists celebrate the approaching Uluru qualifiers. This event will decide who gets to represent Great Britain in the finals in Australia. Flutterpage lets the last of the Uluru flyers slip from her fingers. They scatter as they soar on the wind and drift into half-open windows.
Stop littering, you grimy little bug.
This is the Uluru Fair!
Tooth Fairy inspects the street, studying the alleys on either side, but finds nothing.
The trace of the black fog seems to have disappeared into a large gathering of Arcanists. A wise choice. A choice, I'm already assuming, that has a certain level of intelligence.
The black fog is sentient. Ultimately, she is only a doctor. When it comes to things outside of illness, she often finds herself lost.
It sounds like a monster. Like from tall tales where adults make up to scare us. I heard people talking when I was sitting on the roof. They say it was born from a smokestack.
It does appear to have a similar composition to soot.
That's no good for the birds, Miss Doctor. I sure hope it don't come here. I don't want it to muck up the Uluru Fair, or scare the canaries away from the chimneys.
What's so special about the canaries?
They always know where the lanolin snails are hiding. All I'll do is give them a bit of old bread or seeds, and they find me the snails. It's my snail catching day. Stay right there, miss. I'll be back soon as I've finished. Don't go getting off your sauce while I'm gone.
She's gotta go catch some snails. With that, Flutterpage drifts towards a stall decorated with Union Jack bunting before disappearing like a whisper on the wind. A gentleman in a fine gray woolen coat stands tall nearby. He is utterly incongruous with the rest of the street.
This is an Arcanist Fair Booth application form. You need only fill this, and get proper approval from the city government. Then no one can bother you.
Look, the last time we had a white guy with a nice hairstyle and a suit, he was evil as fuck, so...
Approval, eh? What's the point? The games will be over by the time they've even looked at my application.
Are we entirely certain we even want to hold the fair in these conditions? Don't you think... the weather now isn't appropriate for that kind of strenuous physical activity?
What else can we do? We need to earn our bread, or perhaps you could clean the air for us, eh, Mr. Fogwalker?
Oh, this is Mr. Fogg,
I'm doing all that I can.
Which means you can't do nothing at all, don't it? Yeah, we're coughing. But what we make in a day at the fair here is more than an entire week anywhere else. Not like we have royal allowances to rely on, unlike you. Enough of it already. Now, would you mind moving aside for the little lady behind you? She's been waiting a while.
Oh, I do apologize, miss. Miss Tooth Fairy.
Hi, everybody. Vendor speaking facts. There's a demonic anthropomorphizing of London's pollution from the 19th century. Here's what's confusing me, though, eh? We have a character. His name's Oliver Fogg, and he comes from a family of arcanists whose job it was to, like, manage said fog. So, like, in this universe, like, the Great Fogs of London, that entire event was an arcanist anomaly that needed to be controlled, like, not controlled, but, like, fought, I guess, by an arcanist family. So I'm wondering how he, like, factors into all of this.
I didn't expect to run into you here, Mr. Fogg.
Because, like, his name's Mr. Fogg, so clearly he's related to Oliver somehow.
The pleasure is all mine, miss. Oh, where my menace. Welcome to London.
A cross-street local hurries by, letting out a sharp, violent cough.
Of course, we were supposed to meet in the office of the London Atmospheric Cleanup Committee. I'd have prepared a fine Indian tea for you, but I was called away to deal with matters here on Cross Street. It's a happy coincidence that you popped by. It will save us both some time.
Mr. Fogg awkwardly fiddles with his gloves, clearly feeling embarrassed at the indecency of their meeting. Thankfully for him, Tooth Fairy seems more concerned about the issue at hand.
Something the matter? You mean the air pollution?
Not precisely, no. Though one could say the problem is related. In fact, it seems just about every one of our problems comes down to these sticky contradictions. For example, contrary to good wisdom, the people of Cross Street have opted to continue their fare, despite the obvious dangers of the fog. That's just unreasonable.
You're the unreasonable one here, mate. Stop the Uluru fair on account of a bit of fog. Fog in London. Should we cancel if there's water in the Thames next?
Citizens should be made aware of the harm caused by fog, and reduce unnecessary outdoor activities.
Pardon me? You lot government officials?
A few busybodies gather near the two of them, ready to catch the latest gossip.
You saying we aren't allowed to celebrate the Uluru qualifiers? So what are you expecting us to do? Just watch the games and then pop off home? It's not like there are many events left for us arcanists to celebrate in our own country.
Sir, you seem to have quite a severe cough.
Oh, it's not so bad. Just a little curse is all. Doesn't matter none. A good arcanist healer can cure me.
That's exactly what I've been talking about. A curse? Good lord, man. You have a disease called tuberculosis. You need a proper doctor, not a healer.
When the magicians are like, stop talking about magic shit. You have a disease. Go get checked out, goddammit.
Maybe this is just how citizens in Cross Street best comprehend the disease. In the arcanist way. It's not a matter of arcanists or humans. Tuberculosis is caused by the presence of bacterium in the air. It can't be cured through ritualistic purification or exorcism.
I'm gonna adjust myself a little bit more because I'm still blocking some stuff here. It's not germs, it's the miasma. For anybody new here, magic is real. So these purifications and exorcisms are real things that actually work. And Tooth Fairy is a doctor who specializes in, I guess would be both arcanist and human medicine. Like, she specializes in arcanist medicine, but she's also very familiar with human medicine. Because arcanists, aka entities that can do magic, most of which are humanoid, and humans have different biological compositions. So they actually do require two different kinds of medical treatment most of the time. But it seems like tuberculosis does not discriminate.
You just don't get it, do you? It's not like that.
Yeah, shit.
If this tuber what have you is the reason, then why does my chest burn like hell?
Hi, Tim.
I've never heard of no bacteria what could do that.
You feel like your chest is burning?
Like swallowing a flaming coal it is. It all started this month. Never felt anything like this before.
Like I said, there's no disease. This has to be the Fog Hag's curse. She's the one who summoned this damnable black fog. She used to be a toad before she was thrown into an alchemist's cauldron and came out as a twisted old hag that haunts our street.
Okay, so like, even though magic exists, this doesn't sound like a real story.
Could you tell me more about the black fog?
The vendor remains silent, shooting a hostile glance down Cross Street.
Shh! Don't say anything about it. It'll bring bad luck.
He coughs, waving his hand to scatter the attention of the crowd, then vanishes into the yellow smog.
So now we have a fog hag? What's to come next, I wonder?
He raises his hands in resignation, knowing that, as a gentleman, he should speak no further on the matter.
Sometimes, despite being an arcanist myself, it's hard to understand my own people. But that's what they think around here. My colleague is presently out investigating this curse they mention. But, to say nothing of his intrepid skills as a ranger, I doubt he'll produce any evidence of this so-called hag.
I hope his comrade is the hat.
In fact, he...
Oh my god, I think it's the hat. A long, sharp whistle cuts through the air, like that of a rider galloping across the plains of the land down under. But what follows is not the sound of hooves.
Arthur, a little help, mate. We've got trouble.
Oh my god, I love him! He's perfect. Oh, I love this guy. A hat riding a hobby horse races forward, its coat fluttering in the thick smog like a cavalryman returning from a reconnaissance mission. A dark cloud follows close behind him.
So,
hi, Ark.
Here it is.
What's that after you now, old hat?
It's the black fog. Seems I've startled it, and now it's sent our critters into the streets. Steady on. Let's charge like soldiers of the Great Emu War.
I love you. Carbuncle instead of carbuncle?
It's the hag. The hag's cast is coming for us. Those nasty critters are coming from her garden. Run!
Hi, Mia. Game's going good. When any unit gets stats down, control, or when any unit gets stats down, control, or negative status, smoke inhalation increases. When the bar is full of hordes of poison on random enemies. Okay, wait. So it's just stats down, control, or negative status. Okay, I was wondering why her thing didn't proc, because she isn't wearing her fucking Psy cube. Hang on. Where is it? There it is. We're actually gonna do this then.
A procession as orderly as a row of straight teeth.
And what can I put on Marcus for now? I don't have I'm still, I didn't get her Psy cube during release, so I'm still saving up for it in the shop. Fuck, I don't actually know what goes on her.
Hey, hello there.
Oh my god! Look at it! I love how they like localize the carbuncles for all these events. Because they're all carbuncles, but they all have little different designs based on what the event is. I love it. I think they're cute as fuck.
Or this one. What's your legs? Be serious. Stay focused. Time to turn the page. Stay calm. Come on, stand up. There's one more round.
Nice, I'm just playing catch-up right now, mostly focusing on developing my characters. I'll get to get everybody to Resonance 10 before I continue the main story. Resonance 10 is a good place to stop. I don't have anybody pushed past 10 at the moment. I'm not sure if that's even necessary for any of the content that we have right now, just for the price of the investment. Unless, of course, you really, really like the character. But, what is it? I3 level 30, Resonance 10 is a nice place to stop when it comes to building.
May I say, it was an honor to serve as your bodyguard, miss. I'm Brimley, the ranger colleague of my mate here, Arthur Fogg.
Brimley!
I wasn't hurt. Thanks to you.
Is Arthur Fogg the name of Oliver's dad? Was his name Arthur? Mr. Fogg lightly brushes the soot from his coat before walking over to Tooth Fairy. Despite clearing away most of the black fog, his expression looks grim.
Thank you, Miss Tooth Fairy, for telling us what happened at the hospital.
And I know someone's gonna
We
look
ought
at
to make a summary of our investigation so far.
I know someone's gonna look at me and say 12 insight, 2 level 40 characters I have, and tell me you only just started chapter 6, chill the hell out and just play the main story. I can't do that, I gotta develop people before I go forward.
Concrete, baby!
Insight 3 level 40. Oh yeah, that's fair. Thank you for the follow, Dangerous Snaky Snack. You remind me of that Neopets item. I think it's called Snack Top. God, I'm so fucking old. Just be careful about, spreading your resources too thin, yeah? Because it takes a really long time to build characters in this game, so like you don't want to spread your resources too thin, especially if you're pulling more characters. You want to make sure you're only building characters that you're actively using going forward, because otherwise you're gonna hit a rough patch later on. Seasoned government employees are particularly good at providing summaries.
We've encountered 3 oddities thus far today. This mysterious black fog, the unusual burning chest symptom, and...
He carefully considers his words before bringing up the difficult third point.
this so-called fog hag living on Cross Street.
Believe me, I have like 35 stars and a lot of 6 stars that are on the bench right now. On bench because I just can't devote the time to develop them right now. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. You play the game however you'd like, but as somebody who played since global release, you definitely want to focus on your 6 stars. Because 5 stars are great and all, you're not going to be using the majority of them as you approach more endgame content. But again, play however you want to play. If you find the most joy out of building your whole ass roster, you go for it. But just be aware you might be kneecapping yourself here by not focusing on your 6 stars.
Well done, mate. You did it. You said it out loud. We may just break the ice of your soul yet.
I'm only doing my due diligence by quoting the title verbatim. Back to the topic. Combining these clues together, we should assume a causal connection. The hag releases black fog, giving Londoners this variant of TB with the burning chest symptom.
When did you move into 221B Baker Street, mate?
Unless those 5 stars are characters like Charlie, because you just need... Oh yeah, Charlie. Yeah, there's a handful of 5 stars that are worth it, for sure. But the fog walker shifts his gaze, knowing that even if he were to inhale a mouthful of that black fog, his face couldn't look any grimmer.
It's a reasonable speculation. If so, then the first thing is to determine if such a lady lives here on Cross Street. We'd better pay her a visit.
If you insist, Dal. I can already confirm that for you. She's here, all right. Down at the house of the mangy front garden at the south end.
Very well. But might I suggest we don't all go in a rush to pay her a visit? We know nothing about her, or even whether this hag is a danger.
A little figure squeezes its way in.
Oi, Miss Witch Doctor, you done talking to Mr. Fogg and Mr. Hat?
Flutterpage, where have you been?
Wasn't you listening? I was off catching snails.
She did say she was catching snails.
With a bit of help from the canaries.
Flutterpage lifts an old glass jar filled with snails.
Good on you, little tacker. That's quite the harvest.
She tucks the jar away in the folds of her clothing, then lightly grabs the hem of Tooth Fairy's coat.
Shall we then, Miss Witch Doctor?
Where are you taking me?
Thought I'd show you around Cross Street. Figuring since I'm the best guide here.
Are you? Then, do you happen to know about the house at the south end of the street?
Flutterpage ponders for a moment before her eyes widen in realization.
Sure do. Actually, these snails are for her. You can tag along with me to see her if you like.
Oh, we're gonna go meet her. She, Anon, Leanne, and Knight still compete to see who can throw out the biggest numbers in any given fight. It's fun to watch. Hell yeah. Characters are very fun to play with. I didn't get on Lee until like quite recently. I'm like, I've missed you and I've never had you before. Human report. Conversation overheard as a carbuncle basks in photosynthesis. What's this? Rubbish, stop poking around. Rubbish, think this is a book? Don't you want it? And if I take a butcher's, you wouldn't understand it. What's it about then? Don't you have anything better to do? I ain't done today's chores. Insects are herbs with leaves and purple flowers. This adventure book about the adventures of a little creepy girl and his friends. Can I draw a story for it inside? Just don't stop, do you? If you find someone else to entertain you, maybe just have mug written all over my face. Fine, do whatever you want with it. Stay here for all I care. Just leave me alone. That's about all I'm gonna need. Oh, they got little doodles in there. Part 3, Fog Hag. The smog in the garden feels unusually dense. It has taken on an almost milky, gelatinous quality. The damp, fishy air sticks to the visitors. Sparse ivy winds around the ancient stone wall, its bare roots clinging desperately to it.
This right here, miss, is the Fog Lady's house. As you can tell, It is a very big, big house. Not like mine. Mine is small, but very high up.
Steep, tilted roofs, sash windows. It's very Victorian.
She's actually not a love letter to Ghostbusters. She might have elements in her design, but she's mostly a love letter to a very specific genre of horror movies from Hong Kong, apparently. Like, apparently everything about her screams this love letter to Hong Kong horror movies from a very specific era, which I cannot speak on because I've never seen them, but that's why she speaks Cantonese. I like this art style. Isn't it great? The art style is totally what drew me to this game in the first place. It's so gorgeous. I'm pulling for her as soon as she drops. I'm skipping Willow because Flutterpage will do more for my account. She's so cute. It's the era between her and Tribby. It's the era of follow-up attack girls for me.
Oh no. Her name ain't Victoria, miss. At least, I don't think so.
No. I mean, Victorian architecture is a kind of style of house. I'm saying this house must have a long history.
Oh. Too right about that, miss. It's been here for ages. Come along then. I'll take you in.
Flutterpage doesn't knock, nor does she touch anything resembling a doorbell. She simply leads Tooth Fairy straight to the garden gate. Several carbuncles peek out from among the vines before quickly retreating, their eyes still locked on the visitors.
Are these her critters?
You lot are hungry today, ain't you?
From the folds of her oversized frock, Flutterpage pulls out a jar filled with snails.
They ain't for you. They're for the lady of the house. Now please let me and Miss Witch Doctor through.
The carbuncles refuse their entry, shooting out a few tendrils to form a blockade.
Sorry, Miss Witch Doctor. They was much friendlier before.
You've been here before?
Yep. They always let me in straight away. No clue what set them off this time.
Flutterpage stands on her tiptoes, planning to hop over the barrier, but after a quick glance at Tooth Fairy, she abandons the idea.
I don't rightly know what to do. I try calling her, but it won't do much good. Even if she heard me, she won't come out.
You're saying she never leaves her house?
Not that I ever seen.
Do other people visit her?
No.
But you visit her often?
She likes when I bring her snails. You think she eats them? All I know is I gave her snails. And then she asked me to stay around her house for a while. When she's not in a sour mood, she even teaches me some words for arcane skills. But if she is sour, then all she does is hand me some books, and I can't even read most of them. Don't go asking her too many whys. If you do, she says, "Get out!" And you got to go. So far, the longest I stayed was a whole afternoon.
I see.
I also like escargot. Escargot is pretty good. It's very buttery if prepared properly. Tooth Fairy surveys the old mansion. To her, it looks more like a small castle than a house. She decides not to disturb the formidable witch dwelling within it.
Maybe I'm the reason they aren't letting you in. I'll just stay back here.
All right, then. Stay there and I'll tell her about you, miss.
The carbuncles lower their guard as Tooth Fairy retreats. The strange plants and critters in the garden clear the way for Flutterpage as she makes her way down the path. With herb butter? Hell yeah. Flutterpage raises the snail jar high above her head as if presenting some kind of token.
Miss? You hear me? Wakey, wakey!
The lock clatters heavily, and the hinges on the old oak door give a mournful groan. She's hot.
Here you go, miss. A fresh batch of snails.
She doesn't respond. The witch's stare is fixed on the unfamiliar woman by the garden entrance.
Who is this?
Well, I don't know her name, but she's a witch doctor. She came here in a car with a flyer of the Uluru qualifiers, so I think she's here for the Uluru... Oh, I forgot that you don't like the word.
Hello, miss. I'm here investigating the source of the Black Fog. You can call me Tooth Fairy.
Go away.
Hot witch? Man, I wish women were real.
Why? I ain't asked too many wise, miss, did I? That was only my first one today.
I cannot wait for that Assassin's Creed collab. Me neither. It's gonna be so fucking interesting.
Oh.
She realizes something.
So I can't come in at all? You promised you'd help me practice my arcane skill.
Then you better not let me catch you saying Uluru ever again.
The witch anxiously snatches the snail jar from the girl's hand and closes the door. The door closes.
Aww. Oh! She left me a book. Look, it's got a carbuncle on it.
Come
Hi,
here,
Sideways.
Flutter Page. Are you all right?
I thought I could play at her house today.
Would you like to do something else?
Like what?
Like, see your new friend, Mr. Hat?
Mr. Hat?
It's going good. Interesting story so far. I got 121 pulls saved up with more on the way every day. If Izio the goat becomes a character in verse 999, I don't get him. I'm offing myself, no cap. I'm excited to see what they have cooking over there.
Ms. Flutterpage, I'll ask you to not wear me on your head. I know I can fly, but that doesn't mean you can treat me like a kite. Besides, I'm due to begin my patrol. I need to...
Oh no! A gust of wind blows Brimley into the hallway, spurring Flutterpage to give chase.
That gives us some time for business. First of all, allow me to express my respect for your adventurous spirit. A haunted hag mansion whose owner feeds on snails. To visit her so quickly on your own initiative was a bold move, Miss Tooth Fairy.
It's called an investigation. Maybe you should try it sometime. I got the fine lighters and ready to rock on the art thing. Hell yeah. Hi, Avian. Yes, Brimley. Brimley the hat. I didn't read that, did I?
No sugar. Just as you asked.
He now has no choice but to admit the existence of the witch. Alright, here we go. And, of course, he has kept the promised Indian tea at the forefront of his mind.
The connection between this lady and the Black Fog will require further confirmation. However, judging from our encounter, she doesn't seem to have much concern for the world outside her home. I also noted that the word Uluru seemed to irritate her.
Uluru? As in the Uluru Games? Not a fan, I take it. It's certainly odd for an arcanist to have a negative impression of the games, though not unprecedented. Which reminds me of this letter. I suspect our Fog lady might be glad to hear it.
Mr. Fogg places a voiced letter between the two of them. The paper swiftly transforms into a wide mouth.
Letter from the St. Pavlov Foundation Uluru Games Organising Committee to the Uluru London Qualifiers Organising Committee. Copied to the Office of the London Atmospheric Cleanup Committee. Due to the rapid deterioration of air quality in London and the presence of an unidentified arcane-related tuberculosis outbreak, we regretfully have decided that the Uluru London qualifiers will be cancelled until further notice, to protect the health of competitors and spectators. Competitors still wishing to participate are encouraged to register for the qualifiers in Paris or other cities.
The paper folds itself up and drops back onto the table. Mr. Fogg sighs.
I received this shortly after submitting my report concerning the events on Cross Street.
They're right. It's better for everyone's help.
No objections here. But it's certain to cause a stir. Miss Tooth Fairy, you saw how passionate the citizens were about this event. What it means to them. They'll eat us alive when we announce this. So much more so that it's cancelled because of air quality. The firm will not be pleased, I can assure you. This great city will be the laughingstock of Europe. If not the entire world.
Bro, there's a tuberculosis outbreak. What the fuck do you want?
Unless there's a way to clean the air in London. Perhaps then I might convince the Foundation to reconsider.
Isn't that like your job?
Mr. Fogg, there's only 3 weeks left before the qualifiers. It's a serious effort just to address the smog over London, let alone this new black fog and the disease that has come with it.
3 weeks. 1 for making plans, 1 for enacting said plans, and still 1 more for the final procedures.
He slumps into his chair with his arms crossed and glares furiously at the voiced letter on his desk.
What are you doing now, Mr. Fogg?
Thinking, Miss Tooth Fairy, is how I make the plans.
Brimley, fleeing pursuit, eventually finds his way back.
Forgive me for interrupting, Arthur, but I had to call off my patrol earlier than expected. I'm afraid I need a favor of you, Miss Tooth Fairy. Would you mind helping us with some of the sick? After that black fog rolled through, patients with this tuberculosis variant seem to be multiplying as fast as hares in the Great Artesian Basin.
Tuberculosis? To be continued. Okie dokie. Past glory. What has been engraved in your mind, seared into your sight, and etched onto your very being. Part 4. Past glory. Oh.
Through misty woods, on paths concealed by haze, he thrice died and thrice was born in ancient days. Guide me rightly, that I may not stray.
Oh, bro, maybe she's a witch. By the willow fire, a witch is dancing on the ritual ground. She performs her dance alone, only the shadows cast by the flames accompany her.
Flowers bear fruit, and beasts give offspring's way. With eyes of fire, pierce through the cloudy maze.
Hello?
Failed again. Damn it.
She clenches her right leg, her fingers turning white at the tips.
I won't get anywhere so long as I can't move right.
The typically docile carbuncles are now locked in a frenzied shrieking match. What should have been a calming ritual has quickly turned into a bloodied war drum, and all because of a single misstep.
Enough! The last thing this haunted old place needs is another crazy creature!
Did she accidentally summon something? Goddamn. Recommended. Beast. You know what? You know what? Sure, this works. Let's do fucking, Sure. Sure, why not? Oh wait, it's all 4.
Someone's sword hath not rusted yet.
Animated conscious flora? Look, I think these guys are still cute too, okay? I think they're still cute. Oh, I should have brought a fucking,
Nice tactic.
Merci, grave.
Like a lighter.
Should have brought a cleanser. I forgot about the smoke inhalation thing.
Nice tactic. That's right.
Wear gloves.
Hey.
We're fine, actually.
This is not bad for a stretch.
to God.
She collapses by the willow fire, causing intense flames to suddenly die down. She swiftly grabs a blanket from the pile to cover her legs.
Whatever thing you are, don't think I won't strangle you to death with my bare hands.
She's really cool, actually. I love her. She struggles to her feet, but just as she's about to stand, one leg gives way. The little girl tumbles through the window and into the room.
Bloody.
She tries to lift herself up for the second time, but can only support half of her body. She looks up to find a little face among the pile of stitched and restitched clothes. There could be no more embarrassing or infuriating way for another to behold her.
You? What are you doing here?
I only wanted to show you the arcane skill you taught me.
Flutterpage nimbly gets back on her feet, bouncing around as she shakes off the dust. Seeing that the girl is unharmed, the witch turns her face, hiding her fleeting look of concern.
But you are in a bad mood, aren't you? What happened? I promised I didn't call you Miss Willow in front of others. You said I can call you Miss Willow when there's just you and me, right?
And you actually listened? First time for everything, eh? But it's not about what you call me.
Then what is it?
We're in London right now, Avian. She stares at Willow in confusion. Suddenly she realizes why she's lying on the ground.
Let me help you up.
I don't need it.
With a flick of her wrist, Willow's coat and hat leap onto her like loyal dogs. She tries to stand up for a third time, using the rough stone pillar beside her for support, and finally manages to straighten herself out.
So then if you value my words so highly, what about the time I told you I don't need a knocker-upper?
I remember. You told me there's no sense waking me up for anything. I don't have any work to go to. But I'm not here to wake you up, am I? I already did that for the whole street hours ago.
Oh, have you?
Oh yeah, no worries, Avian.
Then maybe you can buzz off and bother someone else. I didn't give my permission to let annoying little flies in my house. I'm in the middle of something important, so leave me be.
Willow grabs a broom handle and points it toward the window Flutterpage opened.
Just one more question, miss. I'll be quick. Miss Tooth Fairy and Mr. Fog say you made people sick with the black fog, but I know you didn't do it. Did you? You never told me you can summon black fog.
Done with all that nonsense, are you? If that's all you knocked on my window for?
But if you didn't, I can tell them the truth. Or you could even help them find the black fog. You're the best witch I know.
Their problem is no concern of mine.
Oh. But I did hear something. I was thinking maybe you'd like to hear it too. Letter from St. Pavlov Foundation. Due to, what? Deuterion air quality? And arcane tubal-keeled kiss? They said the Uluru qualifiers are cancelled.
Stop. Do you understand at all what you're saying?
No, but...
Go away!
Aww.
I said get out!
She seizes Flutterpage with both hands, half dragging, half pulling her toward the open window. Throws child out the window.
You know what I don't want to hear, lass? Your voice.
Flutterpage is flung out the window and carried away like a kite with a broken string on the breeze.
And your infernal knocking. Don't you never take another step into my house. Never.
The room reverts to its familiar silence, no life save for its solitary resident, just as it has been for the past decade. Her hastily thrown-on coat and hat slide to the floor as Willow leans on her right leg and limps over to the storage table filled with bottles and jars. There's still enough mucus left over from yesterday's snails for her to use. She pours the liquid from the jar into the cauldron.
Just a wee bit left.
She sets the fire alight and the lubricant starts to bubble in the cauldron.
Eat snails? Let them think what they will. I don't care. The fog hag. A toad monster. failed work of an ancient alchemist. Yes, of course, Charlotte O'Hagan. You're nothing but an ugly, evil, terrifying fog hag living in a haunted house. You deserve every bit of it.
She lifts her eyes and gazes out the window. To her surprise, she can see the moon, a flurry of small clouds slowly making their way across it, and a flock of silhouetted birds swooping and swerving in tacit harmony. Like the white sheep that roamed those vast rocky hills, like the witches in black robes who danced together in perfect unison.
That's concrete, baby!
Thank you, Mia, for the follow.
What an age. At last, witches no longer need worry about being captured in their sleep, pierced on a stake, or burnt alive.
Our next competitor is our witch from Ireland, a once-in-a-generation talent!
Oh?
The ancient rituals are different now. We dance, communicating with spirits like a joyful game.
The Uluru Games!
Or a graceful competition.
And the winner with a floor ritual is...
A desirable...
Oh, she was a rhythm gymnast.
That's concrete, baby!
Thank you for the follow, Mickelson.
I left the pot on.
The smell signals a point of no return for the lubricant, and its appearance confirms she sees a small blackened mass stuck to the bottom of the cauldron. Willow's prosthetic leg grinds and creaks as the joints rub up against each other, causing her hip to itch.
Back and back. Fit for the rubbish now. Rubbish.
Oh, she's hurting bad. Oh, her heart is hurting bad. Everyone is curious about the witch's garden, and everyone fears it, except for one small bird. To her, it isn't so dangerous. Don't touch any plants with barbs. Barbs? The thing I had to pull off your leg yesterday. If a plant cuts you and the wound turns purple or the blood isn't bright red, knock on my window. At any time, even if you're dancing, at any time. In the evening, the critters will lower their top buds to the ground. Try not to step on them. Got it, so I can touch the top buds. Do whatever you want, just don't come crying to me when they bite you. Stop squeezing into the damaged parts of the fence, just use the front gate. Right, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I'm teaching you arcane skills so you can fly, not crawl. Aww. Number 5. Little Knocker Upper. The wind blowing through this place has seen everything. Oh my god. As morning breaks, the rooster crows, announcing the start of another day of hard labor for the people of the East End. In this land of industry, shipyards, and factories, there is a dire need of coal, fuel, and the labor to sustain them.
Good morning, sir, madam. This here's your wake-up call. Rise and shine, wakey time.
Flutterpage looks up to the gray sky above. There's only a touch of blue, and no sun, stars, or moon to be seen.
Enough! I said enough with the gal. I'm already awake, ain't I? So stop buzzing around.
The seasoned knocker-upper deftly dodges the basin full of foot-washing water that has just been flung out the window and slips through the alley and onto the next street. She still has a job to do.
Wakey, wakey! Morning's here! Mrs. Wilson, you awake? You can't be late again, or old Mr. Pig Eyes will be on you with his belt.
Hello?
What happened? Didn't she hear me?
Suddenly, she's shoved from behind.
Oi, who did that? Shut up already, Liberty. Didn't you know Mrs. Wilson was sick? She's sick? What's wrong? Doesn't hurt like swallowing a burning coal, does it? Who told you that? Yeah, maybe. Plenty of folks have been getting that too. My dad says it's a curse. It's not a curse, dummy. I'm no dummy, Liberty. You are, believing on what that hag told you. She's a dirty, ugly old liar, and she's the one who cursed everyone here. She's a toad what can't get out of her house to see sunlight, and decided to curse us all just because she didn't like the fair. Have you gone off your rocker, Freddy? Just leave me alone. I got work to do. That's work, eh? You call knocking on people's window work?
The boy rolls up his sleeve and pats his bicep.
I climb up in the steam turbines to tighten up the screws, and I clean them chimneys from the inside. Think you can do that, eh?
That's child labor!
But I don't want to tighten screws or climb up chimneys. I don't like the smells. Oh, so you like the smell of this black fog, do you? All thanks to your wicked hag friend. Go away.
She whips a clothesline pole at the boy's knee with a sharp crack.
Ugh.
The boy leaps toward the girl but loses her among the heap of rags.
Huh?
He swivels his head toward the sound and stands there shocked as Flutterpage deftly leaps over him.
What the? The fog lady taught me this. Lady? You mean that hag? I should have guessed. You'd be that ugly toad witch's apprentice. You're not my friend anymore.
She runs off deeper into Cross Street. Freddy, go sweep a chimney! The old mansion looks just as it always does, from the strange garden to the ominous building half lost in the haze of smog. Even so, Flutterpage is hit by an unusual feeling, one she can't quite place.
It's not snail delivery day, but after she threw me out of the house last time, maybe I'll go apologize. Maybe then I can learn some more tricks from her, or at least read her books.
The creature eyes her wearily.
Hello, hello. Now, why didn't you let Miss Tooth Fairy in last time? She's not a bad person. She even gave me some flying medicine. It was sweet and sour. You think Miss Willow's lonely? She needs new friends, and maybe some flying medicine too.
The carbuncle seems to reject her assessment. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, leaping side to side in a clear display of defiance.
But this time, I won't go through the window. Not that I get why she was so mad. Was it that I stopped her from eating breakfast, maybe?
What's up, bud? My cat's screaming at me.
Well, time to figure it out. I bet if I walk in from the front door, she won't be so angry.
Shit. Flutterpage enters the garden like she always does, except this time the carbuncles don't make way for her. They leap at her.
What's wrong?
Flutterpage swings the clothesline pole, but fails to drive them off. They close in on her, malice in their eyes. Fortunately, reinforcements come galloping through the smog.
Miss Flutterpage? What in the blazes are you doing here? Good Lord, I hope you didn't get hurt.
I love him.
Mr. Hat!
Miss Bartley, I'd advise you to please stay a safe distance back.
No.
Carolyn Bartley. She's pretty!
Just look at the state of this garden. Oh, Charlotte, what have you been through to fall this far?
No, wait, we're gonna... Oh my goodness, I am so out of it today.
The procession is orderly as a row of straight teeth.
Career-ending injuries suck. Very true. I can't wait to see what happened.
Vision.
Recommend.
Everyone has their own definition.
Anyone feeling cold?
Hold on to that.
I'm not
Thank goodness you're in one piece.
One Piece!
I don't get it. They ain't never bit me before.
Well, you must always stay alert when you encounter critters, even in a familiar place. That's some genuine ranger's advice.
A ranger? Are you really a ranger? Can you be a ranger without a real horse? Will I get a hat like you if I get to be a ranger?
Come here, Mikey. Oh, you're so big. Okay. Alright, I am now cuddling my cat. I heard queer ending injuries suck. Fortunately, a hat's range of expressions doesn't include awkwardness, or much else for that matter.
Hi, miss. Are you here for the lady living here?
Flutterpage circles the unfamiliar lady, looking her up and down.
Miss, you look a lot like Miss Willow, the fog lady. So straight and proper like a swan.
Miss Willow, you said?
Oh, she fucked up. Flutterpage claps her mouth before realizing she wasn't the one to utter this name.
Yes, Miss Willow. Did she say you were allowed to call her that too, miss?
Allowed?
Even her sigh carries an elegant, melodious quality.
What kind of nutter has she become? Thank you for taking me here, Mr. Brimley. I can handle the rest myself.
She makes a gentle motion with her hand, signaling that she has finished talking.
You're welcome. Let's go, shall we? Hey, little tacker? It's not safe to leave you here. I'll escort you to the hospital. Miss Tooth Fairy needs your help.
All right.
Flutterpage holds onto Brimley's coat as the two of them leave the garden. She looks back a few times. Carolyn remains totally unmoving. It's as though she can converse with the owner of the house through her stare alone. Temporary hospital.
I thought a hospital was a big building. This is more like a fair. Only with sick people.
Patients lie on basic steel frame beds, their once pristine white sheets now marked with yellow and gray stains. In the face of such a scene, the bright flags of the Uluru Games now look lifeless and limp.
Well, you're right there, mate. It's not your typical hospital. Arthur's calling it the London Emergency Relief Centre for Special Tuberculosis Patients.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about ads. I didn't set the timer. Hang on, give me 1 second here. Just gonna do a quick ads here. I'm not gonna click forward until, if you get caught in ads, I'm not gonna click forward until you come back. I'll see you in 3 minutes. I totally forgot to have a timer, kitty! I forgot to have my timer! Oh, yes. Does anybody who's watching right now, I'm so tired. Is anybody who's watching right now an HSR player? There we go. I spat it out. Because we recently got some concerning leaks, and, I still don't think I believe them. But they've been substantiated by a couple of other people, so I'm like, so we know via official announcements that the Fate collaboration is in Q3 of 2025, and previous leaks had set up the Fate collab for 3.5. Recent leaks have come out saying that it's actually going to be second half of 3.4 in the same patch as Finon, which is a lot. Like, I still don't entirely believe it myself, but it's earlier than expected. So for anybody saving or planning their pulls, especially if they wanted the Fate collab characters, should probably exercise a bit of caution. For me, what that looks like is it's looking more and more likely that if Acheron reruns at any time before, like, 3.5, 3.6, I'm probably going to have to skip her again. Which sucks! Like, to save up for 3 characters, worst case scenario, I have to save for, like, 8 to 9 months, which is a lot, especially considering they're doing, like, double 5-star banners throughout this entire fucking version. Like, the pull income is not really good when looking at the amount of releases they're doing. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's definitely not, it's not hindering my enjoyment of the game at all, but it is making my plans a lot more difficult. Because if this is the case, there's a chance that I might just go ahead and spring for Trippy E1, because I'm gonna need the DPS. It's gonna be that much longer for me before I get to actually pull Acheron again. A wrench in the plans, exactly. That's all it is. I'm not happy about it, but we gotta work with what we gotta work with, you know? That's the risk you take when it comes to playing these kinds of games. Reverse 1999 is also a little bit scary as well, because they're trying to catch up global with the English servers. So once, like, we at one point had like a timeline, because we were able to see what banners and patches were coming far ahead of time, because CN was like 6 months ahead of us, but they're narrowing that gap further and further, and eventually we're going to be on the same timeline, which means no roadmap, which makes things a little bit more difficult to plan for. But that is the risk you take when you play these kinds of live service gacha games. They will make decisions to make money, and they do not care about you, and it's just important to remember that. So you gotta play in a way that is sustainable for you. Okay, everybody should be back by now. Alright, let's keep going.
But it's still kind of a hospital, ain't it?
She doesn't linger on this thought for long. The image of the unfamiliar lady in Willow's garden won't leave her mind. Capitalism, indeed.
Who's that swan lady? She's not from Cross Street. How did you know Miss Fog Lady?
Hi, Tachyon. Everything's going great. This is a very charming little update so far. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Swan? I suppose you mean Miss Caroline Bartley. We're hoping she'll be our lifesaver.
Oh? Mr. Fogg appears behind them, looking rather pale.
Lifesaver?
Exactly so.
There's a curious spark behind Mr. Fogg's eyes. He looks straight ahead as he speaks.
See, my hat friend. We civil servants can actually accomplish a thing or two. We found Miss Bartley, a shining star of Uluru, a talented competitor, and above all, she's an insider. She arrived in London days ago, looking for our Fog Lady. She claimed to be an old acquaintance. Some luck, isn't it?
Mr. Fogg, I swear to God, if you fucked this up.
If she can figure out the connection between her, the Black Fog, and this fiery TB... Oh, speaking of which, that Miss Willow truly has a special name.
What?
Heh. What are you laughing at? How long have you been up, mate?
A thought crosses Brimley's mind. His partner has probably hardly slept all week. A burst of glorious vigor illuminates the Fogwalker's face, like sunlight breaking through a gap in the gray sky.
Sleep? Who needs to sleep at a time like this? I'm more than energetic. I'm a veritable locomotive. Better than ever.
Oh, he ain't okay, bro.
Arthur, you need to get some shut-eye, mate.
Is that what you think? That I'll just go back home for a little rest now? Now of all times. Dead wrong, mate. We've got rounds to make at the London Emergency Relief Centre for special tuberculosis patients.
Dude, you need a nap.
Come with me, my chapeau chap. We've got a city to save.
Mr. Fogg grabs the hobby horse and forcibly drags Brimley away with him.
Oh, all right. Miss Flutterpage, go find Miss Tooth Fairy, would you? She said your arcane skill might be of some help.
The two of them quickly vanish into the streets.
help? How can I help a witch doctor? Maybe Miss Tooth Fairy will tell me. But where is she?
Words just before disaster / passing out on your feet.
So many people here. I can hardly tell them from one another. Oh, but she has got those golden fairies with her. Maybe I can see them. Like how Miss Willow taught me.
To control the wind, you need to learn to see it first.
Look at, she's so cute! Look at her little face! She's adorable!
Can you see the wind, lass?
Only when it's blowing something around, like dust or old paper. But I ain't got nothing like that with me now. I used all of it when Freddy tried to catch me. Is there anything else I can use?
She scans through the pale yellow smog, the fluttering Uluru flags informing her of the wind's direction.
Oh, I see it.
The wind picks up, and the flags, along with the people's clothes, start to flutter in the same direction.
What was this wind, eh? Where's it coming from? Oi, me hat! Please, is there any good Samaritan who can spare a blanket? Oh, God bless you.
The smog dissipates in the wind, and for a brief moment, the air is noticeably clearer in this small corner of the world. At one of the beds, a little golden fairy is being held by its wings and placed into a patient's mouth.
Miss Tooth Fairy!
Flutter Page, there you are.
She swiftly closes the patient's mouth, making him swallow her bizarre medicine, before walking briskly over to Flutterpage.
What's wrong?
We've got to find a way to clear up the sky.
Some liken it to pea soup, others to the famous Spartan black broth. It's 10:30 in the morning, even by the window the page cannot be read without a lamp. I set the journal by the sill, lit by the lamp, and return to find it layered in fine coal ash. Best to refrain keeping the windows open. On the Thames, visibility is so low that feeding the swans is a hopeless task. I hear their mournful calls but cannot see them. Their wings beat against the smog like warnings to retreat. Fogs are unusual, cases of tuberculosis on the rise. Overcrowding in hospitals and sanatoriums tells its own stories. Visibility's improved slightly. Not good, and now my chest is starting to burn too. The hospital, there's talk of a black fog capable of flattening buildings. Supposedly one hospital is claimed. Tiny tornado didn't look like it. Macabre jokers, someone should call up an arcanist to investigate. What's this? Oh, right. Black Swan. A self-portrait, a reflective depiction of oneself. Very bird-coded. Like that little boy called her Liberty, didn't he? Isn't libera like the Latin root for bird or something like that? The oak door slowly creaks open, the inside air meeting the outside and stirring up a faint mist. She struggles her way through the garden, a brazier in her arms. A brazier? Brazier?
It's been near a week.
With every step, her right leg gives out a painful creak. She looks at the half-open window. This week has seen a number of uninvited guests, but not one of them was the one she's been hoping to see. That curious little thing who flutters back and forth like a sparrow.
This is how the world works. I should have known. I'm always too naive.
She carries out her usual task of clearing out the garden. First, she gathers dry twigs and leaves to use as kindling. Then she strikes a match, throws it into the brazier, and waits for the fire to grow. As the fire intensifies, she gathers the trash from around the garden, most of which is flung into her garden by her neighbors, and adds it to the fire.
A dead mouse. Classic. Sure to disgust me.
Willow picks up the decaying mouse carcass and tosses it into the flames, the fire flaring up so fiercely it nearly scorches her eyebrows. In the early years, she would often watch from the window, her dark eyes fixed on the people who passed by.
Rotten apples and eggs from that boring old codger. I suppose he's down to his last teeth now. Soon enough, the only thing he'll be eating is porridge. Bit of comfort in knowing he hates porridge.
Even now, the old mansion's doors and windows remain firmly shut. The owner's face hasn't been seen for many years. All the neighbors know is that a fearsome witch lives there.
Hands burnt by steam. It's a curse. Bumping into ghosts during the Samhain. Curse. Lost everything betting on the ponies. Each and every misfortune must surely be Willow's curse.
She picks out some garlic from the garbage bin. This simple seasoning can be repurposed as seeds or fertilizer.
Superstitious fools.
The only items that cannot be utilized are the wooden carvings with bizarre symbols on them, rumored to possess the power to ward off demons.
Shysters.
Demon banishing water is the most clumsy and silly item, but it's also the most manageable to deal with. Willow simply lets it be, treating the water poured into her garden as free irrigation.
Brats.
Salt. This is the worst offender. It dehydrates the plants, often killing them outright. She digs up the tainted soil, ready to wash later.
Oh. Well, now these are new, aren't they? Blood-stained rags. Wonderful. Sooner or later, they'll all cough their lungs out.
Scapegoating, exactly. The stiffness in her right leg is unbearable. Mosquitoes incessantly buzz in her ears. Moments later, Willow's leg gives way, and she collapses into a patch of potato flowers. Hi, Baka! Soft, soggy soil. A limp, decomposing body.
No!
She smacks her prosthesis on the knee, as if the blow will set the joint back in its rightful place. She grabs the dirt as she fights to get to her feet, struggling. This is a struggle she's long grown used to. Lured by the sound of her strikes, the carbuncles slowly make their way toward her.
Away with you!
The critters scatter, ducking behind the leaves and watching her quietly from a distance. She clutches a vine with one hand, but it only throws her off balance and she falls to the ground once again.
Horrible.
She is more proficient in the art of balance than almost anyone, yet she also finds it more difficult than anyone to adjust to even the smallest imperfection.
No. I don't need to cast my arcane skills.
Hey, Yola Chicken!
Stand up. Stand up. You loser, you. I need machine lubricant. I suppose I need to buy some.
This time, she makes it to her feet.
I can do this. I will do this. All by myself.
Her steps grow clearer, more steady. She grips the delicate metalwork of the gate.
Nothing to it. Let's go.
Her leg clacking like a slow, mournful melody, she steps into the smoggy, somber streets of London. She left the house! Oh shit, There's a makeshift sign on the door.
Shop closed due to illness, while the owner has gone to Miss Tooth Fairy for treatment. Please leave your name, order, and address on the list below, and we will deliver it to your home as soon as the owner recovers.
Oh, thank you, Baka, for the hydrate or dihydrate redeem. I'm actually out of water. You know what? I will be right back. I need to grab some water. I'll be back ASAP. What? About water. Automod got you dry motherfucker. I'll allow that. There we go. Use code UNION for 21% off gamer subs. She picks up the pen, then sets it down again without writing a single word.
Tooth Fairy. Alright. Then I can find the owner if I go to this Tooth Fairy. Is she some kind of doctor, then? Not that she could treat what ails me anyway, eh? What other shops might sell canary saliva and lanolin snail's slime?
She wraps her cloak tighter around her body in an attempt to fend off the cold, damp air.
All this time I could have done this, if only I hadn't relied on others for so long. There must be another store for arcane supplies. But... I think I need to lie down.
She's fucking eepy. The cold hues of the night still linger in the morning mist. The Thames has never looked so quiet. Across the river, earth-red flags flutter like burning balls of fire. A smattering of white emergency medical tents are scattered below them. A trampled Uluru qualifiers flyer floats down to her feet, brushing against her ankle.
Sports fanatics. Black fog. Strange tuberculosis. All these things have nothing to do with me. All I need are my ingredients. Nothing more. I ought to just order what I need as a home delivery. Ask them to leave the package at the entrance of the garden once a week. As for the fees, I'll just have to sell all me old medals. That'll be enough to support me until I become a proper hag. Then I can never leave my house till the day I die. There's something dark rising up from the water. It's nothing special. A bit of old rope. Or an old boot. Why can't it be a swan? A black swan? Here? Really? That's why you ought to go out more often. Else you'll miss these precious moments. A chance to see something special, like a black swan. Look at it. Some creatures are born with these smooth, pitch-black feathers. But it's only under the sunlight that you can see their iridescent shine. That's when all the other animals can only look on and feel themselves inferior. They can never stand out from the crowd in the same way. Your silence is an answer. I know it. Just as I know every time you lash out and curse, you're cursing your own failure. Walk closer, Charlotte. Why don't we take a better look at it? Look at its gracefully long neck, those magnificent wings, and how it glides across the water. All swans are beautiful, but only the black feathers make it truly stand out. It brings back some memories, don't it? The feeling of being one with the swans, and the flow of each step of our dance. We were so close to perfection. All we needed was for you to spread your wings and fly. Fly to Paris, Cairo, Istanbul, and eventually to the Uluru Rock. Then it comes to me, and I can hold it in my arms, lift it above my head. This perfect, shining golden medal, standing on the Uluru Rock.
Miss Willow, but what are you doing out here? You've got to move. Black fog is coming straight for you.
Ignore the noise. Eyes on the swan. It's only a tacky white swan, covered in soot. How ridiculous it looks now, wearing that false disguise. The poor thing, it must have been covered accidentally.
Miss Willow, why are you looking at that swan? It's dead.
Of course it's dead and gone. That's right. What kind of swan would want to be with something so ugly and stained? Of course it's ended up alone. Died alone. What else were you expecting? You didn't really believe that spread your wings and fly bollocks, did you?
Hello? Can you hear me, Miss Willow?
You ought to thank the black fog for lifting your illusion. Now you can see it rightly. You're not some special black swan that was born to greatness. You're nothing but...
Miss Willow, what's wrong with your leg?
But a cripple.
Come back for the paint.
Willow lowers her head to see that Flutterpage is standing at her feet. Tooth Fairy stands a few steps away, calling out to her. Flutterpage gently touches her prosthetic leg, revealing the secret she has been too proud to admit for the last 10 years.
Why? Why didn't you tell me about your...
You're much stronger than I thought, Miss Willow. If you allow me to address you as such.
Leave me be. I'm going home.
I'll walk you home. I got you. Miss Tooth Fairy and I was just chasing after the black fog, but I can walk you home first.
I just want to go home.
Willow uses all her might to turn, but still can't do it with any grace. Her stiff right leg continues to impede her.
I'll go with you.
She stretches out her hand and pulls at Willow's clothes in a clumsy attempt to stop her friend from leaving.
Flutterpage.
Willow swats her hand away.
Huh?
Stop following me!
Miss Willow!
I just want to go home!
Flutterpage remains in place, her eyes suddenly filled with tears. Tooth Fairy steps forward and pulls her into a hug.
I don't want you to follow me.
They look on as Willow shakily walks into the smog, each step grinding away a little more of her dignity. Man! What happened, bro? Really good voice acting, absolutely. I'll totally back my Stark about black swans being quite common in Australia. They are in London, to be fair, but also I don't know how common black swans are. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. I think I saw white swans in a zoo once, but... Chapter 7, Brunch. This gap, fill it up with tangible things like warm hugs and heartfelt embraces. Black Swan, Honkai Star Rail mentioned?
The floor ritual is one of the most popular events of the Uluru Games. It has a bewitching style that generates a resonance between the dancer and audience. Charlotte was a genius. She was born for it. And God has sent her a coach covered in dark feathers and skilled in ancient Celtic runes. Coach Raven taught her the primal witch dance that ignited a fire within her. At least, until that tragedy 10 years ago, which took her leg. Coach Raven had given her a pocket of flower seeds as a reward for all her diligent practicing. It said they were from the druids in the forests of Glastonbury. I guess she planted them around her house and got this garden. Now all these bizarre plants share the same strange air with their owner.
The plants in the mansion's garden are all drooping toward the ground. There is a new sense of weariness that wasn't present during Tooth Fairy's last visit. The woman by the door gently shakes her head as Flutterpage crawls around on her knees, searching for bugs among the foliage.
Thank you again for having me over. That's all I have to say about Charlotte.
Flutterpage's head pops out from between the plants.
What's a druid? Is it a place? Do they have canaries and snails there?
A druid isn't a place. It's a title. An identity.
Identity? Oh, like a name. Just like Flutterpage, right?
She quickly falls back into her own musings.
Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Bartley. I'm sorry to be taking you away from your practice. Yes, you should be. I don't much enjoy being bothered by stuffed-up bureaucrats.
The accomplished floor ritualist has never been one to hold back her words.
But if you ask me...
Carolyn glances once more at the narrow window of the old Victorian house. It's tightly shut.
I will tell you that it isn't Charlotte that's summoning the Black Fog. I stand by that. I swear it, on all my honor as an Uluru competitor. We're witches, but not in the traditional sense. We practice witchcraft to win medals instead of summoning devils. We trust you at your word. It seems like that concludes our investigation into this fog hag. Thanks again, Miss Bartley.
We perform rituals to, like, cheat at sports, not, like, do dangerous shit. Come on.
Miss Tooth Fairy, if you do want to thank me, mind doing me a favor?
Tooth Fairy nods, but Carolyn seems to have an unusual hesitation as she deliberates over her choice of words. In the end, she yields.
Please do something. Anything to bring her out of this hole she's dug for herself. Whatever you do, break down her door, drag her out by her hair, even blow up that old mansion. Just don't let her hide in her stupid house. She'll let you inside now. There's no longer any power preventing you. I can sense it. You know this place well. Have you visited her here before?
Carolyn bites her lip, holding back the words on the tip of her tongue. Then she walks away.
I think Miss Bartley wants to come in with us.
Maybe so, but she's made her choice. She doesn't want to join us inside.
Tooth Fairy shakes the jar in her hand, not containing her usual tooth fairies, but filled with a collection of lanolin snails.
Let's go, Flutterpage. We still have work to do.
Whatever you say, Miss Witch Doctor.
The two of them step cautiously into the garden, the soil compacting under their feet. There's nothing left to obstruct their path. They step around a few threatening-looking plants as they take the winding road to the creaky oak door. Tooth Fairy goes to knock, but the door swings open the moment her knuckle hits the surface.
The door isn't locked. Let's get inside.
They're rare in the UK, but more common in South Australia and New Zealand. As for black swans, got it, okay. Black swan theory, or theory of black swan events, is a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise, and then they found them in abundance in Australia. Odd way to show your affection. Oh, I'm not sure if you missed it, Avian, but, like, she uses snails for her rituals and apparently for, like, lubrication for her prosthetic. So, I feel like it's like an olive branch. It's like, hey! We brought you some snails! Oh, shit. Willow sits at the table prepared for one, surrounded by an exorbitant amount of half-finished food. Aside from the full English she's currently tucking into, there's a Scotch egg, a half-eaten cod and chips, and a steaming apple crumble.
Sorry to interrupt.
Willow casts aside basic manners, neglecting to invite her guests to sit, and cuts herself another piece of sausage.
Diets high in sugar and fatty oils may well lead to stomach illness, Miss O'Hagan.
She's like, are you telling me how to eat right now? She continues to eat her lavish brunch.
I choose the name Tooth Fairy instead of my real name, Campbell. But did you choose to let people call you Willow? Or do you prefer the name Charlotte O'Hagan? That is the name of an excellent Uluru floor ritualist.
The crash of silverware interrupts her once more. Then Willow sweeps her arm across the table. The silver dishes clatter loudly as they fly to the floor.
Tooth Fairy. Some kind of doctor, right? I think your prescription is a little fuzzy. I'm no athlete. I've only got one leg. This Charlotte has nothing to do with Willow. Just like I've nothing to do with the Uluru Games.
So far as I know, the Uluru Games do not exclude people with disabilities from full participation.
To be sure, but only if you enjoy parading yourself around for embarrassment. I think I'll pass, thanks.
No one should feel embarrassed by competing, least of all the competitors challenging themselves. That is the point of the Uluru spirit.
Willow rises with great effort, furiously stamping the floor with her prosthesis in the process.
Excuse me? I don't remember having asked you for a running commentary.
I'm sure you already know the answer in your heart. You have wisdom and experience.
Who even invited you here? It's time you leave.
I'm here representing our mutual friend, Flutterpage.
At the mention of this name, Willow pauses and takes a step back.
What for?
I understand that usually the only one welcome inside is Flutterpage, but I'm here to apologize on her behalf.
Apologize?
She places a small jar of snails on the table.
What's this?
An apology gift. She ran off a little before sunrise to collect these for you. She collects these arcane creatures you use to make the lubricant for your prosthesis, right? But she's afraid that you'll get angry at her again, so she asked me to give it to you.
Oh, I see. Now I'm the hateful, angry, wicked witch.
No, you're not. The things that these people say about you, they aren't true. As I mentioned, Flutterpage wanted to apologize because, quote, she didn't want to break your heart.
Oh!
Miss Bartley has told her many things about you. She never knew you're such an outstanding competitor.
Caroline?
Tooth Fairy slowly pushes the jar of snails closer to her.
So, will you accept her gift?
Willow delicately places her fingertips on the jar, neither pushing it away nor taking it.
Ugh, nosy little brat. Where is she now? In the temporary hospital?
You want to see her?
The witch's features twist like a knot.
Don't push me!
She pulls the snail jar closer to her.
All right, it's my own fault. I shouldn't have treated her that way. That what you wanted to hear, is it? Fine, then. You'll have what you want. Just take me to her.
She's waiting by the door.
What?
Flutterpage cautiously peeks out from the edge of the doorframe, her wide eyes scanning the room for any sign of danger.
Miss Willow.
At this point, there is no turning back.
Fine. Come on in, then.
Unable to deal with her emotions, tears well up in Flutterpage's eyes once again.
Stop your crying. Listen, I shouldn't have treated you so wickedly the last time. And the time before that.
Tooth Fairy gives a silent nod.
Now would you stop that crying? At least not here in my...
Baby! Without a moment's hesitation, Flutterpage charges towards her. Willow's hands open and close like a spider raising its front legs in fear. She's not sure whether she can catch this chaotic bundle of rags.
Oi.
She manages to catch her, only to be knocked back to the floor.
I'm sorry. I'm really very sorry. I swear I won't break into your house no more. I'll only come in when you let me. I'll do anything you ask. Say anything you need me to say, miss.
She unconsciously looks to Tooth Fairy, only to see that her full attention is directed at the Uluru floor ritual painting on the wall. Tooth Fairy's like, I pretend I do not see it. Willow gently taps the back of Flutterpage's neck through several layers of old clothing.
So, could I still come around again sometime?
Willow presses her hand to the girl's mouth, stifling her sobs.
Stop your crying first, lass.
Okay, I'll stop crying.
With a soft push, Flutterpage drifts into the air like a sheet caught in the wind. Even with the removal of Flutterpage's weight, Willow is left on the floor, unable to get up.
Can I help you?
Flutterpage moves closer, reaching out both hands in line with Willow's. She takes the offered hands and rises steadily, the sudden gust of wind helping her find her balance. Aww!
Enough. Enough. I've had too much of this for one day. Would you mind if I politely asked you to leave? You do have a black fog to chase after all, don't you? Just so you know, it truly has nothing to do with me.
Miss O'Hagan.
Call me Willow, child. What else do you want to say?
Would you let the food stay in your tummy for a bit longer? Eat a little more. I don't want you to be so skinny.
Oh fuck, does she have bulimia? Or am I reading too much into that? I mean, like, she was a gymnast, right? Fuck. She knew? Like, Flutterpage knew? Oh, fuck. That's rough. Willow pries Flutterpage's arm from around her waist, gently pushing her back.
All right. Now leave me be, please.
Tooth Fairy takes Flutterpage's hand, and as they leave the room, the old house sinks back into silence. There is no sound save for the heavy ticking of the grandfather clock. That makes sense. That's why she was binging. That's why she had so much at brunch. Oh, fuck. Man!
She's seen too much of this embarrassing side of me.
Oh, that's messed up. Showing, not telling, exactly. I almost missed that. I was like, what is with the food scene? It's kind of weird. A compilation of potion recipes from popular books such as the Common Household Potions Handbook and Anyone Can Be an Alchemist, simple and easy brewing techniques. Lubricating ointment. Sleeping drought. Oh, is this stuff that she's made for herself? Sleeping drought. Special pain relief balm. Dragon bone for everyday use. Of course I can afford that. I'll just trade up 50 bottles of regular balm for 1 meager ounce of dragon bone powder. Why bloody not? It's such a bargain! Alternative substitute. Or just use 50 bottles of regular balm and endure the pain until it subsides. Oh. Very tactful portrayal of body dysphoria. That's good to hear. She acknowledged it too. She's seen too much of this embarrassing side of me. God damn. Chapter 8, Raining Fish. What you need are sharp eyes to spot value, a touch of arcane skill, and a talking hat.
So, I dreamt of eating a marshmallow last night, but it tasted like rubber. And the next day, my wife asked me why I ate the cotton she had in her nose.
What?
I said it's because the air was so dirty that I wanted to block up my throat. And she laughed. Of course. She says it might be better now that I can't shout and holler whenever someone scores.
A burst of static fills the air as the radio's owner changes the station.
These are the highest level of professional arcanists. Their abilities lie far beyond the limits of our bodies, our perception, and everything else.
Oh, body dysmorphia. Got it, Cyrus.
Arthur, mate, do you know what you're doing?
Go on, then. Be a little louder. May as well let everyone know a trusted servant of His Majesty's government and his talking hat are hiding out in a pile of litter.
Mr. Fogg, what the fuck are you doing? Mr. Fogg, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, that's what you're worrying about? I guarantee you, no person in their right mind will think that a brilliant mind such as yourself would decide to hide in a rubbish pile pretending to be a potato.
Ha ha. Since when did you become a comedian?
I learned from the best, mate. Once I'm back in Oz, I hope to be awarded the title of Duke of Sydney Slapper. Not that anyone gives a toss about titles of nobility back home. We've got more important things to worry about in the Redlands down under.
You know, Brimley, old chap, you don't have to be a duke to be above people. All you need is someone tall enough to wear you on his head.
Bloody oath, mate. Like I'd let anyone pop me on their head. I'm an intelligent being, not a bloody accessory.
Shh.
A small monocular peeks out from among the garbage.
Look at that sailor over there. See the ropes in his hand? That right there is presently the most valuable material in all of London to me.
Right, a bit of rope. And what about it, mate?
It's essential that I have it for my invention. We'll just wait for him to throw the ropes into the pile here, and then we'll be off. Just as simple as that.
Mr. Fogg?
Come closer. Closer. Ready now. He's nearly here. It's no longer useful to you, son. Just throw it down.
A bowl of freshly extracted fish guts is poured over him.
Mate, there's a lot of good that's come of being awakened. I treasure all the adventures we've shared. But I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't have awakened if I knew I'd end up in a rubbish bin covered in fish guts.
Bro.
Just a little mistake. Just a little mistake.
This dude is fucking losing it.
What are all these for, exactly?
Mr. Fogg gestures for Brimley to come closer then. With a proud whoosh, opens the large sack he's been filling over the last 3 days.
These are my collections so far. A klaxon, a watering can, a fishbowl, and
a chamber pot.
Despite his lack of facial features, Mr. Fogg can sense Brimley's disdain. Oh, fuck.
You've gone full bonkers, mate. You're the Fog Walker. Aren't you ashamed of hiding in rubbish, stealing old junk?
It's not junk, old chap. Every piece here will be invaluable to our work.
Mr. Fogg's face hardens as he turns his gaze towards Brimley.
Each one is a necessary component for my invention.
I think he's lost it, folks.
Your invention?
For... Ahoy, sailor! You over there, please, wait!
Mr. Fogg's attention is clearly still fixed on the sailor.
Would you mind terribly leaving us those old ropes you've got there?
Good lord, he's bound for the sanitarium at this rate.
Okay, watch us laughing at him, and then he actually comes up with an invention that works.
Move along, no pushing. Everyone will have their chance to vote for their favourite competitor.
Oi, sweetie, you only pushed me out of the queue. Good bloody job, mate.
I'm voting for number 007, Molson.
Molson? The first timer? Not all your life, mate. I'm down for 005 Bartley. She's the top seed.
The alley is full of stalls for the Uluru qualifiers. A crowd of people is gathered, their faces painted with Uluru symbols in anticipation of the event.
3 days to the qualifiers. Vote while you still can. Oi! You over there with the black brolly. Come on over and vote for the winner. Oi, mister, stop your pushing.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Sorry, mate, we're on patrol.
Sir, we have a situation over there.
Let's follow them.
Now introducing the competitors for the Uluru London qualifiers.
Bartley! Bartley! Bartley!
Oi! Who pushed me?
Ouch! Mind your step, will you?
Me? Was you that pushed me, weren't it? You should be the one minding your own feet.
Arthur, I think we're only making things worse trying to move through this crowd.
Looks like we found our troublemakers. What do we do?
Keep up with them and bring him in.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna fight the cops? Oh my god, we're fighting the cops! Fucking hello?
Battery checked.
Let's do a little...
A procession as orderly as a row of street teams.
Let's go. I walk fast.
Step into the fairy ring.
Bump, bump, bump.
Excuse charging. Loading.
You don't want to miss it.
Target confirmed. Eliminate target. And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Hell yeah, pig roast. Yeah, I got some M&Ms. I want some M&Ms.
Arthur, next time, don't get me involved. I think I'm feeling sick.
This poor fucking hat, bro.
But he gave us the rope after all.
Mr. Fogg grins as he looks at the small length of rope in his hand.
Stop right there!
He turns his head, and there, standing behind him, are two constables.
Seems you two rough sleepers are wanted in connection with a fight breaking out on Cross Street.
Oh?
I'll ask you to come quietly and cooperate.
Mate, say something.
Wonderful. Now I have everything I need for my experiment. The properties of this sea-worn rope should be able to conduct the large particles into the purification vessels.
Uh-oh, chat, I think he's actually got a plan.
Mate, shut your gob for a minute and listen.
Yes, perfection. But how to measure and screen the size of the particles? We will need more sophisticated equipment. Huh? Why am I being handcuffed?
Because you're being placed under arrest, sir.
The moment the two constables draw near, they freeze in place.
Wait a second.
Their eyes widen.
Mr. Fogg, is that you?
Bloody hell! Are you seriously telling me you recognize Fogg before me? How many talking hats do you know?
I was just about to say!
Terribly sorry, gentlemen. I might not have recognized you through all this fog, were it not for that iconic umbrella of yours.
Okay, yeah, so he's definitely 100% is related to Oliver.
Oh, naturally. Just as I've somehow failed to recognize the two ignoramuses that tried to handcuff a hat.
The shorter constable gives a series of subtle eye signals to the other.
We're sorry again, Mr. Fogwalker and Mr. Brimley. But we do need to ask you some questions. What with you running around, disturbing the peace and nicking all these strange things you've got there?
Oh, I didn't steal anything. This is all just rubbish, and it's for official business. I'm going to lift the fog from London.
Oh, he actually does have a plan. The two constables pause for a moment before their faces break into awkwardly sardonic smiles.
I see. All just a terrible misunderstanding, then. Naturally, a bit of old rope, a car horn, unmistakably the latest in technology. Anyways, mates, best we let you go. You've got a city to save. We'll be off now.
With the handcuffs removed, Brimley takes a moment to stretch.
Glad that's over. I'm no fan of handcuffs, even if I don't have any hands.
A little quiet, old chap. I'm just in the middle of a thought. How might I assemble it?
I'm sorry, mister, but I just heard what happened.
Huh?
Huh?
Neither one of them had noticed the little girl who had appeared before them. She looks only half as old as Flutterpage.
Did you say lifting the fog, mister? Are you really going to get rid of the big, scary fog monster?
She blinks, her eyes bright and sparkling as she stares at Mr. Fogg like a little goldfish in a tank.
Will that mean you can cure my mummy? And bring back the blue sky?
Brimley glances at Mr. Fogg.
Right?
When no one responds, the little girl grows anxious.
And then we can still have the Uluru Games, right?
Her eyes dart back and forth between Brimley and Mr. Fogg, looking for any trace of comfort.
My mummy said if the fog keeps sticking around, making people sick, then the games won't come.
A faint sob starts to creep into her voice. Mr. Fogg crouches down and shakes his sack of treasures, spreading them out on the ground.
Mate, this really isn't the time or place.
A klaxon, a probe, a spoon, and a spool of weathered rope. Assembled like so. Perhaps using a large pot, or a baby's bathtub.
He furrows his brow, absorbed in the task at hand. The girl gets on her knees as she leans in to get a closer look.
It will still need a touch of the miraculous.
He gently blows into the base of the glass vessel. There's a crackling sound as a few sparks of light flash briefly in the glass container. Before long, a tiny, steady light is glowing within.
Voila!
It's breathing.
Oh shit, it's working! The machine hums as it draws in air, filters it, and releases it through the other side.
Yes. The Uluru qualifiers will not just be fog-free, my little friend. They will be sunny. But I'll need some help. Would you and your friends join me in this project, young lady?
The little girl's face blushes red.
Yes, I'll help. I'll ask my grandpa, my mummy, and Auntie Martha to help too.
The more the merrier. We are going to build the largest fog purification machine on Earth. The London Air Pollution Auto-Detect Cleaner.
Well, it's a bit on the
That
nose,
just
but...
looks like a great honking big vacuum to me, mate.
The wonders of a sleep-deprived autistic mind! True!
Ulis, Sulis, all life's offerings I bring, as sacrifice to you from the growing spring. The light will sprout within the world's egg lay. Your endless quest brings parents' joyful day.
Parents' joyful day.
What are you, a parrot?
After hanging in the upside-down pose of her ribbon dance for an hour, Willow finally decides to break the silence.
Fine. Keep on then. Annoy an old woman to death if you like.
Another bad mood, eh, Miss Willow? This one's your worst this week. I counted it up. Every 32 hours, steady as a clock. You start scolding me, scolding the plants, the ants, even flowers.
32 hours, huh?
I thought we'd agreed. No more peeking round my house without permission.
Yeah, but you didn't kick me out, did you? And you gave me some rye bread and lemon jam. Don't quite know why you keep trying to act the big meanie, Miss Willow. I know you're a softie now, deep down.
The ribbon suspending Willow finally gives way, sending her quickly to the ground. She hits the floor with a heavy thud.
Miss Willow!
Hi, Sylvie!
Ouch! Oh, it hurts.
Are you practicing the qualifiers?
A distant voice reaches her. The corner of Willow's mouth twitches.
Hello again, Miss Swan.
She's so cute. A blonde woman stands on the other side of the garden fence, her face half covered by the curled stems of a carnivorous plant. Doing good, Sophie. How are you doing? bored as shit. Well, you come to the right place. Actually, before I get the next chapter started, I'm gonna run an ad break here. Let me do ads here. If you get caught in ads, we're not continuing until you come back, so I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. And there we go. I got M&Ms. I'm munching on some M&Ms. They're peanut M&Ms. They're my second favorite M&M. Almond M&Ms are still the GOAT. 1 hunt away from 1,000 in Monster Hunter, though. Congratulations. Are you excited for the new release coming out? Never heard of almond M&Ms? They're really good. So hyped for the new Monster Hunter. Had the game pre-ordered since December. Let's go. You like peanut M&Ms? You like crispy M&Ms? M&Ms are just great. Aren't they just great? So, funny enough, I've told the story before. I like peanut M&Ms, and so chat got me like a pantry box of M&Ms. Like, you hear that? It's a pantry-sized box. It's 1.3 kilograms of peanut M&Ms. And what I've noticed, what I've learned very quickly, is that they save the ugly ones for the pantry boxes. Because, like, they taste the same, but these are not nearly as aesthetically pleasing as the ones, like, if you were to go to the store and, like, buy a package. So I'm like, I'm wondering, now, then my mind, like, got to wondering what the sorting process for M&Ms is. Like, obviously it's not hand sorted, so I wonder what machines they have that sort, like, the ugly M&Ms from the ones that can go into packages. It's like M&M's but girthy and filled with nut. True! Sorry, the voices won. You should let them win more often. As a treat. It's like another 20 or so seconds. This is a cute story so far. I'm enjoying it. Welcome back, everybody. Hesitation and challenge. We're like an hour and a half off from raiding into bingo. I think we get like a fair bit of the way through. Hesitation and challenge. You can always count on someone to be there for you, waiting to support you. Hang on, let me finish this M&M.
Be careful. Now you can spit it out. Right.
Blah. Vomit plunges into a bucket. Tooth Fairy doesn't spare it a second thought.
That's the 5th one today. I added a bit of powder into the candy to loosen up their phlegm. It should help them breathe a little easier.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We really had no idea what to do with this new variant of tuberculosis. You and the Foundation have been a real asset to us.
You're welcome. This is a matter of vital health for all of us. I'm very glad to see the treatment is proving effective, and I hope that our clinical experience here might contribute to solving this fog curse as well.
All I'm hoping for is for this mess to end soon, so we can go watch the games together.
Everyone loves the games so much.
Really? So the staff here are fans of the Uluru games as well?
Not just the staff. Everyone here loves a bit of sport. We're always listening to the broadcasts over the radio down in the ward. It's all quite motivating. Sometimes we even get the patients out onto the commons to practice. Something about the coming of a big sporting event always brings people together.
True.
That's all very good to hear. But actually, it was this poster that grabbed my attention.
She points to the small poster pinned beside the bed. The picture is faded. It's too difficult to make out the face of the athlete.
That's her.
That's her! Sumire Yoshizawa from Persona 5 Royal.
Gorgeous, isn't she?
May I ask who she is?
She happens to be this patient's favorite competitor of all time. She collected all of her posters and clippings. She even keeps a few photos of her as a bookmark, and in her purse.
Her favorite ritualist. Looks like you haven't had a proper guest in ages. Have you forgotten how to make a cup of tea?
Are you calling Flutterpage not a proper guest, you meanie?
You like to presume, don't you? So why are you here then? Just to enjoy the sound of a door slamming in your face?
Oh, they're not on good terms, are they?
Oh, how terrible of me for wanting to visit an old friend.
So then, Miss Bartley, you came all the way down from Yorkshire just to gawk at an old rival? I should feel lucky, should I?
Oh, there were rivals. Oh, there were rivals, chat.
Truth is, I don't care to chatter about with you. Not now, not ever. So you can just turn around and march yourself home. Flutterpage, back to business.
After glancing at Carolyn, Willow turns and gives Flutterpage a look. But Flutterpage is too busy staring at Carolyn, her face vacant.
Why'd you send her away like that? She just wants to practice with you. She likes you.
Focus on your stopwatch. On the count of 3. No time to waste.
She's still there.
She's none of our concern.
And you ain't seen each other in a long time. Bet she misses you a lot.
For Pete's sake, Buzzy. No one does something like that just out of the goodness of their own heart. She has her reasons.
Buzzy! Flutterpage obediently closes her mouth but can't help herself from giving Carolyn a reluctant glance.
Charlotte, you know she's right. I have missed you. I want to see you. But if you really want to know the reason, I want to challenge you again. The question is, do you?
Oh, is their rival gonna get her out of the house and training again?
Do you know her?
Charlotte O'Hagan.
Oh, right. That's the name. Truth is, if it weren't for our little patient, I doubt I'd remember her. Most people think she's too old to compete now, that she's retired to God knows where. Others say she's become an addict, wasting her life away.
Wow, so people really don't know that's her.
I guess I heard in the gossip rags that some people think she's keeled over and died. Too bad for this young lady, but I doubt we'll ever see her in the games again. Wherever she is. She's like as not to lose, even if she did compete.
I've never heard this phrase before. Is this a British phrase? Like blank like as not to, because it's been used a few times in the story, and I don't think I've ever heard that before. Can you rephrase it as to like what this phrase means? Like as not to. Like, in context, it seems like she would probably. So is this like probably? I just think it's interesting. I've just never heard the phrase before. Like as not to means to be very likely.
You just want to announce to the world you've beat me, eh?
Thank you.
Think that'll be a fair challenge, do ya?
She looks so sad, bro.
Perhaps you ought to find someone a little more your speed. Someone who's still in one piece.
One piece? Sorry. I like how it's when she gets angry that her, sorry, is this Irish? Is it an Irish accent? Or a Scottish accent? I don't have an ear for it. But I like it when she gets angry, like her accent comes out more. Irish. Okay,
Again,
okay,
Miss
sorry.
Bartley. Please turn around. I haven't any sort of tea you'd like.
I haven't any sort of tea you'd like? Is that the UK way of saying fuck off?
You have changed, haven't you, Charlotte?
Oh shit. After a brief moment of surprise, Carolyn throws a ribbon at Willow. The ribbon lashes fiercely, grazing the side of Willow's body before shooting past her.
What the blazes are you doing? What?
Carolyn pulls the ribbon back toward her, the cup landing squarely in her hand. She stands there calmly, her eyes still on Willow.
You just said you don't have any tea I'd like. But I think this one is just to my taste.
Fight! Fight! Fight!
Wow, Miss Willow, that ribbon is amazing. It can go from long to short in a second.
Mommy, is that you? Mommy is in Madoka, not mommy as in, like, mother.
Aye. A little toss of the ribbon to take control of an object at a distance of 10 meters. Catch an object after a turn. You did it. Well done. But your aesthetics were lazy. You're controlling the angle of your left shoulder, which is good, but it only means you're compensating for your poor stance.
Ooh. Ooh.
What then? Are you expecting me to say thank you?
No need. Thank yourself for all that hard practice you must have done over all those years. You're almost good enough now. Almost.
Holy shit!
Keep the cup. Let's go back to our timing, Flutterpage.
Bro, those are fighting words.
All right. Goodbye, Miss Swan.
For a moment, Carolyn stands there motionlessly, cup in hand. Then she gradually lowers her eyes, places the cup on the fence post, and turns to walk away. She has barely walked a few steps when Willow's voice reaches her from behind, not loud, but clear.
Oh, by the by, the ribbon technique you just did, I know you learnt it from me. From my performance at the Beltane exhibition match. Am I right?
Oh.
Hmm?
The tone of her voice makes it almost impossible to simply walk away.
Excuse me?
Each and every move, you copied it from my routine, right down to the ribbon.
What?
Oh, she's blushing! She's plagiarizing!
Miss Swan, your face is all red, like my daddy's face when he reads a funny joke in his punch books.
Me? Learnt from you?
You were taunting me right in front of my face, with my own routine. The very innovator that made it. I suppose it was just an attempt to win my approval, was it?
You really think that, don't you?
Oh, she's mad.
But I'm afraid you're not different than when we last competed, Caroline. Aye, you're diligent. But you were never graceful enough.
Bro, what the fuck?
That's what holds you back from glory in the floor ritual. Your aesthetic sensibility, it's all you've ever needed. But you still don't have it, do you now?
I actually kind of feel bad for her now. What did she do to get roasted like this?
You won't make any real progress reusing my old routines. Not unless you find your own way to express your Numa.
I guess that's fair.
And your own signature.
It actually, like, I brought up Yoshizawa as kind of a joke, but like this is also kind of her arc a little bit in Persona 5 Royal. The fact that she was trying, without spoilers, too hard to be somebody else and didn't have her own rhythmic gymnastics style, and that's why she kept failing. Which is interesting. Shame and regret slowly creep across Carolyn's face as she struggles to contain her anger. Then it bursts forth.
You really are full of yourself, aren't you, Charlotte? Do you know how many titles I've won at the international tournaments? the Desert Floor Ritual Open, the Aurora Cup World Championship, and many others, let alone Uluru itself. The name Caroline Bartley has long surpassed yours. I am the uncontested top seed in these games. The records of my skills, my own skills, are in the training manuals for new witches. Do you even know anything about the state of the competition these days? The rules and scoring systems are entirely different and higher in every way. The limits you once broke through are now considered standard for beginners. Ha! But indeed, I learnt it all from you. Face it, you've been left behind. You're no longer the model of perfection. You're just a shooting star that shined too briefly but eventually fell away. I am the rising sun. My name will be eternal in this sport, long after yours is forgotten.
Willow smiles, her back turned to Carolyn.
So be it. Go on. Be the glorious sun. And leave this fading star alone.
Carolyn stands in shock as a couple of doves take flight, leaving behind a few drifting feathers. Goddamn.
Aunt Martha!
Oi. Lisa, you're back. We were just talking about you.
About me?
Oh, the nurse is Lisa's aunt.
About your dream and your favorite competitor.
Oh. Oh, you mean Charlotte O'Hagan?
Forgot I had another stream open in a different tab and Party Rock just started playing. I was like, the fuck is going on in reverse 1999?
Yes,
That's great, but Mr. Fogg needs us for a project. He says we can still have the games if we all work together. And maybe everyone will be able to attend the qualifiers. Maybe even Charlotte O'Hagan.
A project?
What sort of project?
The girl's cries draw the attention of everyone in the hospital, creating a buzz of confusion.
Give me a break. What are they planning to do this time? Another useless build that won't pass the House of Lords?
Wow, so the government's always been the same, huh?
sorry for interrupting. Did I hear you mention Mr. Fogg?
Yes, Mr. Fogg. He said he's making something that will lift all the fog from London. It's his great invention. With everyone's help, we can build a huge machine. But he says we'll need lots and lots of things, such as, pistons for the mechanic lung, and...
Calm, steady footsteps grow nearer, and a large hand tousles the little girl's hair.
I'll take it over from here. Thank you, Lisa.
Mr. Fogg!
Mr. Fogg?
Maybe Mr. Fogg should be sleep deprived more often, eh? What do we got here? An aged, delicate newspaper, a remnant of the distant and worn past. Meet the Ritual 4 prodigy, Charlotte O'Hagan claiming my sunshine, a stomach performance for a ritual event. 11-year-old Charlotte O'Hagan claimed the gold medal with her original move, the Geranium Dance. Victory not only crowned her this year's champion, but also broke a 2-century-old record, making her the youngest winner in the event's documented history, with the previous record being set in 1802 by green-fingered Anna, who was 13 at the time. O'Hagan lineage is steeped in the traditions of ritualistic arcane skills. Charlotte's great-grandfather, Douglas, famously entered the Hidden Stone Gate at the Giant's Causeway, authored the Arcanist text. Grandmother earned a bronze medal in the same floor ritual back in 1866. 13! She won it at 13! That's crazy! Chapter 10, Dust-Covered Pearl. She has been silent for far too long. Show the prototype, you sleep-deprived. He did! He was making a tiny version of it, which seemed to work. So I like to think that he does have a good idea. He's just a little bit manic about it right now. Because he said he was going to take 3 weeks to do this, and I doubt he slept very much.
Miss Willow, I think the water's been shut off.
O'Hagan was 8, the previous record was 13. Did I literally just forget what I just read? I'm sorry. I apologize.
I opened it all the way, but nothing's coming out.
Flutterpage tilts her head as she brings it in close and sticks her little finger into the faucet, feeling only a few drips of water. That's even worse! She was 8?! Dangling in midair, Willow wipes the beads of sweat from her face.
Go to the water resource office and ask the staff what's going on. If they're not there, they're probably at the gin barrel.
I know you want me to leave, but how are you going to track the time and school without me?
Oh, I think she is practicing.
With a heart that's pure and a body lean, to the hunt I go through forest green.
Her wand unexpectedly slips from her left hand and plummets to the floor.
Back! Pick it up and keep going, Charlotte. The movement's correct. First spin, then run the geranium over the shoulder, let it slide down the back, and as it falls to the ground,
concrete,
step on it to hop into the air. Then...
Thank you for the follow, Stinbobin!
Sulis, Sulis, all life's offerings I bring as sacrifice to you from the growing spring. Ugh, this is all wrong.
She halts, wrinkling her brow.
The flow needs to be smoother. All right. Let's try this again. The sprouting light within the world's egg lays.
She gracefully descends from the air, her mechanical prosthesis squeaking softly as she lands.
Hooray! You did it!
This element requires a 720-degree turn. I haven't even made it to 600.
Oh.
Aww!
Once more from the beginning.
She was so excited!
Your endless quest brings parents joyful days.
Her body has collapsed on this rotted wooden floor countless times today, and with the setting sun, each fall feels heavier than the last.
How about this time?
I did it.
You did what?
I completed the element. I did it.
Blimey! So you mean you did that move you've always talked about?
Aww!
A 2.5 turn with free leg backwards and upwards, wand throw and catch.
Does that mean you can complete the ritual too?
Yes.
Willow examines the geranium in her hand, the tender pink leaves quietly resting in her palm. Not a single petal has fallen or been harmed in any way.
All right. That's enough for today. It's supper time. Your mother must be waiting for you to come home with beef stew, fried fish, and bread.
But why? You usually train for about 3 more hours.
Not today. I need a break. I'm totally exhausted.
Flutterpage stays exactly where she is, showing no desire to move.
Why are you still standing there? Do I need to get His Majesty's limousine to pick you up?
Oh, I get it. If I don't leave now, the critters in the garden will bite my ears.
She mumbles on to herself as she quickly makes her way to the door.
Good. I won't see you off.
A gust of wind blows in through the door as Flutterpage makes her exit. With a flick of Willow's wand, she slams it shut behind her. The room settles back into its muted, oppressive stillness. Willow steps into the pale yellow light of the kitchen and shuts the door behind her.
Bloody, you filthy little stain. Whoever gave you permission to stick to my cauldron?
Willow sits beside the sink, absorbed in cleaning her cauldron.
Look at me. I've a whole sink of dishes that haven't been washed. And here I am, fighting a little stain on a cauldron. And when the water's just shut off too. I did ask Buzzy to visit the Water Resource Office. Hopefully it didn't slip her mind. If she even knows how to use it. Never mind. I can clean it off without water.
We're gonna fight the cauldron? Hello?
Welcome, friends.
Goo on the loose! Useless goo. I think this is what we're cleaning from her cauldron. Did she like personify it so she can kill them? That's really funny actually.
Or this one. Crickets and fireworks! Time to turn the page. To transcribe. Whoa! Let's shake hands. Salute.
I love him so much, he's so cute.
To read.
Battling dishes, the ADHD struggle, true.
Perhaps it's a gift for the tooth fairies.
Got it. It's off. You stubborn little thing. Everyone loathes you. Avoids you like the plague. You're just a pathetic little stain clinging to what you can.
I'm not liking the self-talk, Willow.
Do you have no shame to sully the sacred floor with your artificial leg? So what if you finish the element? It won't bring back your leg. Without it, you're no different from a clown. How could you possibly compete again? You're not qualified.
No. I'm not. All the money I spent on this leg.
All the efforts I made to finish the ritual.
They're utterly pointless. When was the last time I ate dessert? Or even a chip, for that matter. Year after year, I've trained harder than the last to make up for my leg. But what's the point?
She flings a scrubbing brush into the cauldron and her heavy breathing gradually slows down.
Forget it. Everything will be all right. Just give up. Stop thinking about it. Stop hoping. Don't look back or ahead.
No bad Irish self-talk. Don't do that.
Just look at the cauldron.
Beneath the dim light, Willow raises her now sparkling clean cauldron to eye level.
See how clean it is now? Stop clinging to places where you don't belong. The world is perfect without you.
The rusted faucet suddenly sputters out a blast of water. It splashes across the counter, startling Willow. Willow leaps back with the reflexes of a true athlete. Her gaze quickly falls on the piece of paper on the table.
No!
She dashes forward, snatching the paper away from the raging spray of water. It's a registration form for the Uluru London qualifiers. Her hands, clutching the form, begin to tremble. Before long, the tremors have engulfed her entire body.
Still intact.
Bro, I don't think she's good, bro.
Still intact.
Oh my god. She's hurting so bad, dude. Carolyn stands at the center of the sports field in her training gear, feeling the fiery pulse of the ground beneath her feet.
Hey! Ooh. Miss Bartley, I finally found you.
Flutterpage, is that you? I can hardly open my eyes in all this wind. Where are you?
I'm right here.
The wind subsides as Flutterpage makes a hurried landing, nearly losing her balance.
You've been looking for me, have you? How did you find me?
I knew where you were staying in London, but you wasn't there when I arrived. Then, the landlady Erica told me to try the training field. Looks like she was right.
She was. I've been training here every day. You know, to settle in before the event.
Good luck then. Actually, I've come here to deliver a very important and urgent letter to you. Here.
A letter of challenge?
The bold, crooked letters scrawled across the top proudly proclaimed the letter's importance.
I, Liberty Grove, on behalf of Charlotte O'Hagan, hereby challenge Caroline Bartley to see who will become the champion of the floor ritual in the Uluru Games. No matter if you're a seeded player, a champion, or the son you say you are, Charlotte O'Hagan, the only floor ritualist to master the 2.5 turn with free leg backwards and upwards, 1 throw and catch, will defeat you and win first place in the London qualifiers.
What? You mean...
Aww! I think? Challenged her ass to a duel. Everything is legal in New Jersey. Chapter 11: The relentless toil the relentless toil, all for the sake of their eyes.
Out of the way! Out of the way! I found the perfect component for Mr. Fogg's machine!
The boy darts through the bustling alley, slipping between the hats and the smog, and landing among the crowd at the corner of the square. The machine, about half the size of a person, is at the center of everyone's attention. The crowd members whisper to each other in excited tones.
This allows us to analyze the composition of the atmosphere.
He lifts his head above the crowd, his voice cutting through the chatter.
If the color of the filter paper meets that of the pollution stem, it will determine that the air is polluted and start working automatically. Let me show you.
Heads turn as the crowd stares intently at the measuring tool in Mr. Fogg's hands.
Excuse me! Oi! Mr. Fogg, look! I found a glass stopper! It's the one you were looking for, right?
Stopper in hand, Freddy eagerly pushes through the crowd toward Mr. Fogg.
Oh, you found it. Yes, that's exactly what I need.
He gratefully takes the stopper.
Your attention, please. This glass stopper is one of the core components of this machine, which can harness the power of the sun to purify the air. Of course, this is only one component of many.
Are you done talking? We've given you everything you need. Where's our purification machine?
Quite right! We need to see the purification machine.
Discontent and suspicion start to surface among the crowd.
No need to worry, folks. Believe me, there is no one who wants this purification machine to work more than I. So, I've been doing some experiments.
God, for his sake, I hope this fucking works.
Arthur! Wait!
Here!
Mr. Fogg looks across the crowd, his eyes bright with intent, prompting the crowd to part a path along the line of his gaze. Brinley, Tooth Fairy, and 3 dock workers appear at the end of the path. They're hauling a cart carrying a heavy machine.
Forgive me for not helping move it. I'm afraid I'm handless and horseless. I can't do a thing.
What the bloody hell is that? Some kind of mechanical freak?
Not to worry, Brimley. Now, folks, take a look at this. Thanks to your generous donations, my experiments on smog removal have finally come to fruition.
Is the dust falling upward? It's kind of going all over the place, but I can see how you'd think it's going upwards, though.
Introducing the London Air Pollution Auto-Detecting Purifier Mark II. A high-power, multifunctional air cleaning machine.
Oh!
The current model can only operate for 3 hours at a time. But I'll continue to improve its performance before the qualifiers begin.
He made this in a
It's
cave!
estimated to last a whole day by then.
Out of a box of scraps!
Wonderful! Simply wonderful!
I hope this works. Please! Please let this work! A cheer erupts from the crowd. I mean, it's like he's a nobody, right? He's a civil servant. Like, he's from the government, so they have a reason to trust him.
Smog standing in our way!
Oh no, the crowd's way too optimistic about this.
Goodness. I can't remember the last time I saw the sun and breathed fresh air. I feel as though I've been rotting.
Amidst the raucous celebration, Brinley takes a moment to glance at Tooth Fairy, who is standing silently off to one side.
It's an honor to see that sweet smile of yours, doll.
I think I'm inspired somehow. I've always felt like a bit of an outsider in London, but this festive atmosphere makes me feel a sense of belonging.
Oh God, please work.
I totally understand. Though I awakened in London, my true home is the land down under, thousands of miles from here. In some ways, I'm an immigrant. This sense of belonging is a treasure.
Oh, interesting. So he awakened in London, but I'm guessing because he's an Australian object, that's why he's from Australia. Inside the sleepy car, the radio broadcasts a variety of live updates.
Yes. As an East London resident, my chest swelled with pride when I learned that the Uluru qualifiers would be held here. I couldn't wait to see what would happen.
That's your 9th sneeze since we got here.
Don't blame me. I didn't even want to come. The Uluru committee ignored my application to stay at the Australian headquarters. They couldn't find anyone willing to come to London with all this smog in the air.
They didn't have much choice either, mate. The Foundation's been preparing for the qualifiers in London for ages. We'll suffer huge financial losses if it's cancelled. Someone has to make the trip to decide whether we should cut our losses or continue to throw money at it. You must have done something to be the lucky one who has to do the job.
Holy! The car screeches to a halt as a group of city critters scurry by the front bumper. As the shuffling subsides, the engine revs up again.
I do apologize. These little monsters are all over the streets these days.
He sounds so calm. You'd think he was just talking about stray cats. You have to admire the stoicism of the Brits, especially in the face of all this. Honestly, this environment's totally unsuitable for any kind of outdoor activity.
The Foundation member says nothing, quietly jotting something down in a notebook.
Hey, what are you doing?
Making note of the crash that almost happened. These records will be used to decide if the qualifiers should be cancelled. Someone has to be the doer, since we already have a whiner on the team, eh?
With a sidelong glance at the scenery beyond the window, the man under the mask exhales softly.
Look at all the decorations and posters. So much preparation for an event that won't even be held.
I'm surprised they even want to hold the qualifiers, given the situation.
A gentle silence fills the car. Its clarity is soft and blurred as the yellowish smog outside.
Anyway, let's make it quick and get this job over with. Let me see. We need 2 things. Evidence that proves the environment isn't suitable for holding the qualifiers, and the profiles of all the participating athletes. Then we can go home.
Next, the changes made to Cross Street. Let's see what the local community has done to prepare for the upcoming event.
The driver reaches a trembling hand to the radio and quietly turns the volume knob to its minimum. Oh! On the busy street, a crowd gathers around Mr. Fogg and his purification machine. After some further iteration, its performance has greatly improved. Beside the device, a sign originally reading London Air Pollution Auto-Detecting Purifier Mark II now reads Mark III, thanks to a single additional brushstroke. Oh, okay, it's working!
2,
Is it?
1.
Hopefully. He pushes the red button on the machine. The contraption, pieced together from household goods, has a glass container housing a solid metal mechanical lung purifier. It comes to life with a deep rumble. Bit by bit, the yellow smog hanging in the air is inhaled by its gaping vent. Eyes wide with wonder, the people watch as the world around them gradually turns clearer.
Wow. Look, Dad. Are those clouds
Oh, it's
in the
working!
sky? They're so white and fluffy.
I was so scared he was gonna hit the button and nothing would happen.
Yes, so fresh. I've never felt anything like it.
Hey, I can even see Keaton's store 50 yards from here. Hello! See, Keaton's waving back!
Aww! A wave of joy ripples through the crowd as they erupt into excited conversation. Tooth Fairy watches Mr. Fogg. He's staring upward. There is no celebration from him, only a quiet contemplation.
The first week is for planning, the second for execution, and the last for delivery and paperwork. Looks like you've completed the tasks as scheduled. Are you relieved?
Mr. Fogg stands there, still staring at the blue sky above.
Miss Tooth Fairy. The sun is so golden and warm.
Don't mind him. He's all over the place after working non-stop for the last few weeks. He's just trying to say he's happy, that's all.
Aww.
What about you? How do you feel?
Me? The ranger soul inside me has always wanted to gallop beneath the blazing sun. Yahoo!
Brimley charges forward, gliding merrily above the heads of those around him. Tooth Fairy watches with a gentle smile. Then something catches the corner of her eye.
A critter? No. Is that the black fog? What's it doing here?
Guided by the traces of arcane energy, she takes a few steps over to the corner. A faint, shadowy haze momentarily clouds her vision, vanishing just as suddenly as it came.
I thought the black fog was a result of the increased density of regular smog in the air, but it seems I was wrong. Mr. Fogg's machine has cleaned up the smog around us, but the black fog's still here, and it's getting thicker. How curious. At least now, without the smog covering its trail, I can sense its movements more clearly.
Following her keen senses, Tooth Fairy silently slips into a narrow alleyway. Her nostrils sting as she enters the trail of black fog. Doing her best to wave it off with her hand, she continues to follow the trail of the enigmatic presence. Something tiny and black seems to shudder in a corner deep within the alley.
What's that?
The black creature springs into motion, vanishing from her sight in the blink of an eye.
Huh?
Now doesn't feel like the time to focus on that little dark lump.
The smog's back.
The smog rolls back in, but this time it has taken on a thick, blackened quality, and it's accompanied by a handful of unexpected intruders.
I did hear that these little things tend to gather in the quiet alleys of Cross Street. Perhaps they like a visit from the Tooth Fairies.
Welcome, friends.
Okay, we do buff. We do buff.
Let's shake hands.
We do this. We do this.
This one.
Is this just a black fog wearing a cardboard box?
Like a metaphor? To transcribe.
Forgive me, I actually don't know how to use how to use either of them yet. These two. Actually, if we do
Salute.
close enough. Welcome back, Mimikyu.
Which one hurts? This one?
Thunder Talisman. Scientific version. Thunder to me. Reading complete. Was I helpful, timekeeper?
slipped away at the first opportunity.
She can't make out where they went through the thickness of the smog. Hey, Dream Demon.
I knew it.
Slightly fatigued, she pauses to tidy up her hair.
But what exactly was it?
What just happened? I'm confusion. In the name of London, the current Fogwalker has put forth great effort. Records show sacrifices of sleep, numerous attempts at amateur arcane skill enchantment, and a few other ungentlemanly words. Third test, unsuccessful again. Not surprising, cleaning device cannot possibly hope to replace the role of the Fogwalker lineage. Amplifying the family's arcane skill may hold some promise, but we've only 3 weeks left. My goal is not to solve the unsolvable mysteries of the industrial era. I simply need to ensure that breathable air is available to all for the event's duration. That means faster filtering, broader reach, larger capacity, just for a short period of time, not forever. Fourth test, I could be off the mark on this one. Boosting the potency of arcane skills shows very limited effects. This line of thought failed to meet expectations, miserably so. It was a bloody waste of time. First test, thanks to the St. Pavlov Foundation, this device works. I was on the right track. The Fogwalker's arcane skill may be irreplaceable. Essentially doubles the number of hands we got by inscribing incantations onto the device. It's like having a duplicate of myself working in tandem. Sadly, I'm not capable of supporting more than one of these, and the purification efficiency is still subpar. Air Pollution Purifier Mark III, first test, complete catastrophe. I'm a fool, an idiot, an nincompoop. Curse it, curse it. Third test, what an astounding discovery. I've never heard of enchanting skills onto everyday ordinary items before. Their developments in this area are revolutionary. Following their instructions to combine specific tools, improved my arcane skills integration into the device. I've achieved success. Auto Tech Cleaner Mark 3, 7th test. Phenomenal. Maintaining the purification output puts an extraordinary strain on me, but at least it is sustainable for several hours. I pray that tomorrow's demonstration goes. Is he gonna kill himself? He's not gonna kill himself to keep this fucking thing running, is he? Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. We got gifted Chinese takeout leftovers? Hell yeah! I had Chinese takeout earlier this week. Chapter 12, Old Wood. Quick, get out there before the cakes sell out. Chicken skewers, hell yeah. God, I could go for some chicken skewers right now.
Knock knock. Which would make the world a better place? Art or a heart of gold? Neither. The little knocker-up of Flutterpage will.
Flutterpage knocks on Willow's back door, but she receives no answer.
Where's Miss Willow? She should be warming up by now.
She walks a short loop around the perimeter of the house.
Where's she gone? Miss Willow? Miss Willow!
Silence.
Knock knock. Don't jump to conclusions. Mr. Wind will tell you the truth.
A gust of wind picks Flutterpage up, raising her high in the air. She sways as she glides in through an open window. Oh god, I hope she's okay.
Knock knock. I'll open all the windows and doors, and all the treasure chests too. Miss Willow? Miss Willow? Miss Willow? What are you doing over there?
In a dark corner, Willow stands silently before a peculiar object. She senses Flutterpage, but doesn't turn her head.
You're early. Why am I not surprised? We're about as patient as a dog waiting for his dinner.
I thought you'd start practicing as soon as you woke up. What you doing in this corner?
Willow softly rests her hand upon the item before her.
Come take a look at this. I wonder if it still works.
Oh! Sorry. The peculiar item sits still.
What a strange thing. What is it?
Sorry, I'm getting a message. Give me a second. Who is messaging me? Okay, no, we're good.
It's the sort of instrument called the didgeridoo. Come give it a try. First, put your hand on it like this.
Poglog? Okay, that's our raid message. We're just raiding into bingo, come top of the hour. But yeah, that's our current raid message. Fucking Poglog! Flutterpage, imitating Willow, lays her hand on the didgeridoo.
Okay.
Poglog.
Then what?
What is this thing?
I'll teach you how to play it.
Okay. Why didn't you answer her cries from earlier? Are we gonna fight the Poglog? We're totally fighting the Poglog. Wait, actually, that's my... Hang on. Here we go. Okay, it's all 4, so I'm gonna do some of this.
Someone's sword hath not rusted yet.
Step into the
Dude, it's the Poglog! Ooh, wait, why has it got stars on it?
Imagine the note you want to play, and tell it to the didgeridoo.
Okay.
No. Use your arcane skill. Not to use your words, but to harmonize with it.
The plug!
Observe it. Comprehend it. And then you can control it.
Didgeridoo! Fragile goods. All damage taken is fixed at 1. Dies when being attacked by a rank 2 incantation. Oh, that's what the stars are. That's the incantation strength that it needs to die. So we don't have any dupes here, so we're gonna buff. We're gonna debuff. We have a level 1 here. And I'm just gonna give Shemaine a little an extra moxie point here.
Everyone.
Let me show you how it's done.
Okay, so this needs a level 2. I'm gonna merge those. This precast is gonna wait, actually, if I do... Wait, hang on. If I do this, I think I might be able to save it. Okay, yeah, it's no longer precast. So we'll merge those guys. We'll save this one because that one's more powerful. Give you some more of that. And we'll give you another point. There we go.
Never hesitate.
Alright. Well, I guess ults don't do anything, so this is a level 2. This is a level 2. And then these should be dead, so level 1 multi-target should be fine.
Seeing stars.
Hold on to that.
Hooray!
Considering someone's physical condition, the investiture can be simplified.
It's pogging!
It's beautiful. Like raindrops pattering on tree leaves.
Aww. Willow gently puts Flutterpage's hand aside before resting her own hand on it again.
Why has it gone quiet all of a sudden?
It's broken.
What? I didn't break it, did I?
No. It's been broken for a long time.
Well, judging by the look of it, it must be old. It's got mildew all over.
This instrument is crucial to every floor ritualist. You see, we're not just dancers, but music makers, using our arcane skills to play the didgeridoo while we dance.
Oh.
Don't worry, Miss Willow. I know broken things ain't always easy to fix, but we can start with the easy part. Why don't we wipe off the dust first?
Flutterpage is just such a fucking cinnamon roll, I swear to God. I love her so much. Flutterpage picks up a loose piece of paper and moves to wipe the dust from the didgeridoo.
Huh? Is this the athlete registration form for the qualifiers?
The girl blinks, her hair jutting out in every direction. She pauses for a moment as she slowly reads the paper.
And look, you ain't submitted it. Why not?
There's still time, isn't there?
No! You already missed the window! Blimey! We've got to do something about this. Oh, that's right. Mr. Fogg said that 2 officers from the Australian headquarters would arrive in London today. I think we can ask them to pull the... What was the word?
There's still time, isn't there? And Flutterpage is like, no, bitch! Get a calendar! Willow doesn't respond.
Anyway, we need to get a move on. I'll pull you up.
Flutterpage tugs desperately at Willow, who steadfastly holds her ground, leaving them at an impasse.
Flutterpage, maybe it's time to give up.
Flutterpage turns her head.
Give up? What do you mean, give up? I don't understand. Ain't this the Uluru games we've been talking about for ages? Think of all the effort you've made. You didn't jump up and down in the garden over and over again to dust it, did you? You're an athlete, not a feather duster. And you finished that move.
The 2.5 turn with free leg backwards and upwards, wand throw and catch.
Yeah, that one. See? How can you just give up?
Oh, jeez. Don't look at me like that. Yes, I've always dreamt of completing this element. No one knows better than I how much this means to me.
Then why are you...
I don't want to talk about it.
Willow lowers her head.
You should leave. I need to see what I can do to fix the didgeridoo. Don't forget to close the door behind you.
Flutterpage, you better steal that application form! Flutterpage stands frozen, staring at Willow for what feels like forever, before pouting angrily and crouching down, her arms firmly crossed.
I ain't leaving! I'm angry!
Hang on, sorry, hang on. Hang on, sorry, hang on. This is her right now. She's put on her angry brows. Is she 14 or 4? Actually, I don't know how old Flutterpage is. She seems pretty young, though. Actually, I can look it up. Hang on. Reverse 1999 Flutterpage, because everyone has their ages on their profiles. Profile. How old is she? Garments, no. Gallery, no. Where the fuck is her age? They have it on all of their profiles. God damn it. It doesn't have her description up. Character profile? Era 1930s, birthday July 14th in the summer. Yeah, I can't find her little blurb that all the characters have. Just because she's not out yet in Global, so like I can't check it. Anywho. Yeah, shit. I can't find it. I don't see it. 11 according to the fan wiki. Okay, alright, thank you. I didn't see that. I was on the fan wiki, but I must have missed it. Yeah, like, 11 makes sense. 11 definitely makes sense for the way that she's acting. Unsure of what to say, Willow lets the moment hang awkwardly in the air. Beneath the painting of the Irish countryside, one stands and the other squats, the grandfather clock marking each passing second with its steady tick. You guys were right, it was Irish. Eventually, Willow lightly taps Flutterpage on the head with her finger.
Don't be upset. It's not that serious.
Flutterpage continues to stare at the floor, shaking her head forcefully.
I talked to Miss Bartley yesterday.
You didn't?
Flutterpage stands up.
Yeah, I challenged her on your behalf with a letter.
Oh my god, wait, she wrote the letter?! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! She wrote the letter?!
She only visited me so she could show off all the titles she's won. She's not the first to come just to laugh in my face.
That ain't true. Caroline was happy when she got the letter.
Oh.
What?
She was really looking forward to competing against you. She told me why too.
It said the letters were rough and crooked. You're right. I don't know. I just kind of figured that she just wrote that way or like didn't have good handwriting or something. Like I just think that, especially because she has trouble reading things sometimes. Because she mentioned that she wasn't able to like read I guess the books are probably pretty advanced for her, but like I didn't think she remembered the name of the move and everything. It was such an eloquent challenge.
She said you were the most talented and hardworking player she'd ever seen, and that it took all her effort just to keep you in her sight, let alone catch up with you.
Aww.
Because you're different, the one true master of the art. If there were only one gold medal in the history of the floor ritual, it'd be meant for you. Those were her exact words.
She wrestles with her memories, yet the emotional pull of the past remains palpable.
I only chose to become a floor ritualist because I had a talent for it. I wanted to win.
I'm sorry, I know this is kind of an inopportune time, but we've been overdue for an ad break. I'm just gonna do an exclamation mark ads. It's gonna be our last ad break here. I'm just gonna pop into it real quick. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. I'm not gonna click forward till you get back. Oh my goodness. Were those her words, though? True, actually. This is so cute, though. This is so cute. Flutterpage has a very keen memory, if only for small arguments and annoying that is true. She does. They did prove that she did have a very good memory. Man, I actually, I really like... How do I put this? I like how self-contained Willow's struggle is, I suppose, I should say. Because, like, in a lot of the other events, and rightfully so, like, not a complaint or anything, but in all of the other events, there were, like, broader implications and, broader situations that involved, like, the community, or, like, the timekeeper, or other people that we knew. But Willow's struggle is, like, purely with herself. And Flutterpage is there to help her out. And I like how introspective this is compared to, like, the other events that we've had. At least so far. Unless, like, something to do with her emotional well-being actually has something to do with the fog, possibly. But I kind of really like it's just about a woman who suffered a tragedy and is struggling with herself to move forward past it. And the focus is, like, entirely on her. I think that's very cool. 32 hours on the dot. What kind of child keeps that exact timing? Very true. You're absolutely right. She is very detail-oriented. Flutterpage is so cute! Willow's a really interesting character. Like, I might pull her on a rerun, or, like, hope I lose the 50-50 to her one day. I just know Willow's really good for poison teams, if I remember correctly, and I don't really have... I've got Jessica, but I don't have Sotheby. I don't really have much makings of a poison team. Whereas Flutterpage boosts follow-up attacks, and that's like fucking everybody on my goddamn roster. So Flutterpage is the go-to. Still got 42 seconds on the ad break. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a lot more laid back pacing-wise. I'm surprised about the pacing as well. It doesn't, like, at least for me, it doesn't feel too slow, considering the subject, or considering the content of the story. Like, not a lot is going on, if you really think about it. There's not a lot happening here, but there's a lot of really good character-driven moments. And I think they did a really good job of making us feel for the characters. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. And again, we're only like just over halfway through, so the other shoe could drop at any moment. Alright, you guys should be back now. Just triple check. Yeah, you guys should be back now. Alright, cool.
So I practiced and practiced, paying little attention to anything else. My family, my friends, my life. None of it mattered more than victory. To me, there was no reward more alluring than the euphoria of winning. But whenever I looked back at my past glories, I felt no happiness or excitement. Instead, I'd replay every moment in my mind. Every lost point, every imperfect movement, and think about how close I was to failure. So I pursued the next victory even more fervently. I thought, next time, I won't lose a single point. Next time, I'll be perfect.
Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar mentioned?
That was what was running through my mind when I was crowned champion of the Beltane.
Jesus.
But there was no next time. That was my last competition.
But you can still have a next time. You can still try again. Look at you. Your skills haven't dulled a bit.
What's the point? I've pushed away everyone I wanted to honor with my victories. I've strayed too far from home. Not to mention...
She casts a silent glance at her leg.
Okay, but are you happy when you do the floor ritual?
Am I... happy?
See? I love being an Ucker-Upper. Every morning, I get to see all kinds of sleep-in positions. Some people cuddle, others curl up in a ball, and some ain't even in bed at all. I like watching them wake up too, like newborn kittens learning to crawl. And finally, when they completely open their eyes and stand on their feet, I feel a gust of fresh wind rushing out the window. It makes me happy.
Hey, Blocky, don't be weird. It was a literal position in, like, the 1930s. This was an actual thing that people did.
So what about you? Does the floor ritual make you happy?
I'm a sucker for fucking characters that ask if people are happy. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is that after a game, me mam would take me to the old cake shop down the road and buy me a cheesecake.
Oh, her accent's coming out.
The same one every time.
I'm wondering, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wonder if the accent shift is a deliberate choice, because I feel like that's really interesting. I feel like it's a really interesting decision.
That was the only time I'd allow myself to eat dessert.
Oh. Someone get this woman a fucking cake, bro.
It had raspberries and chocolate drizzled on top. I can still remember the taste. Sweet and tart, with a light bitterness.
Got Charlotte coming out. Yeah, I kind of got a sense of, like, not split personalities per se, but maybe different, maybe a different personality coming out to the forefront. Almost like a system, honestly, like different fronts at a time.
Oh, So what really makes you happy is the cheesecake after the game.
What?
Right. Then let's get you registered for the qualifiers so you can have that post-game celebration cheesecake again.
He's so fucking cute.
What are you...
Let's go talk to Mr. Fogg. I'm sure he can find a way to get you into the qualifiers. And if your leg's causing you trouble or anything, Miss Tooth Fairy can help you out. She is a doctor from the Foundation after all.
Wait.
A delicate wind brushes past, causing her legs to lose their earlier stubbornness and follow Flutterpage out of the house.
Don't you want to eat that cheesecake?
They walk beside the paintings of Ireland. They wind their way through the willow-bound torches and mysterious vessels.
Don't you think it'll make you happy?
They pass through the houses and the house's front door.
That cheesecake.
And leap out of the house.
It will, right? Then let's go get it. Life's all about happiness, ain't it?
A surge of fresh air floods Willow's nostrils, hitting her like a full-on collision with the outside world. Lowering her gaze, she catches sight of Flutterpage hovering in the air, a delicate lock of hair swaying in the breeze.
You... silly little Buzzy.
Using a hand spared from Flutterpage's tugging, Willow softly flicks at the silky strand of hair.
Why is everyone leaving the stadium?
Flutterpage is still tugging Willow in the direction of the venue, but there seem to be more and more despondent people going in the other direction.
Oi, where are you all going?
Home.
Home? Why? Mr. Fogg's holding the ribbon cutting ceremony for his machine in the stadium. Why ain't you going there?
It ain't happening.
Pardon?
I said it ain't happening. The ceremony. The Foundation officers cancelled the qualifiers.
Oh!
Mr. Fogg's so-called biggest air purifier ever doesn't work.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no, what the heck? But we saw it work! What happened? Shit. Hang on, let me see if Veg is live yet. I don't want to leave it there! Okay, Veg isn't like. Do you think you can sneak in one more chapter? Squid Games? The Purifainter? The black fog rolled in. Oh, that's what happened with Tooth Fairy. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. One more. I think you can squeeze in one more if we're fast. If we're fast, we can do one more. We got another 10 minutes. Part 13, Ribbon Cutting Ceremony. 1 hour earlier.
Please enter in an orderly manner, everyone. The ceremony will begin shortly.
Beside the device, the sign originally reading London Air Pollution Auto-Detecting Purifier Mark II now reads Mark III, thanks to a single additional brushstroke.
Freddy, can you see Mr. Fogg? I can't see a thing past all these people.
You brought the telescope, didn't you, Dad? Maybe I can see if I look through it.
Good idea. Here, take the telescope and get on my shoulders. Hold on tight, you hear? This crowd's rabid. All this pushing and shoving just to take a look at a machine. Then again, the most exciting thing we've had around here as of late is the rats fighting in the underground.
I see him, Dad. I see Mr. Fogg.
What's he doing?
Blimey! He's smacking the machine. It's really strange looking. About half the height of Mr. Fogg, and connected to a very long tube and a massive funnel. Oh! What's that? Right there inside the machine. There's a huge mechanical organ or something. Like a lung.
Oh, sod it. Hold tight, Freddy. Dad's going to squeeze his way to the front. All right, I can see them now. Eh? I don't recognize those two in uniform. Are they the officers sent from the Foundation headquarters in Australia?
That's what I heard. The Uluru Committee sent them here to supervise the qualifiers, and they'll report the results back to their headquarters too.
Ah, so it's down to them whether our athletes make it to the finals in Australia or not. I'm counting on them.
Oh, please, Will. It's the players that you should count on, not the judges.
Well, I hope they like Caroline as much as I do.
Look, Dad! Mr. Fogg's about to give a demonstration of his purifier to the officers!
I heard that it can filter out the smog within 10 yards of itself, and it only takes one night to process the waste. The qualifiers will only last 2 weeks, so it should manage splendidly.
It's working! It's working!
Blimey, it's powerful. It's gulping down the smog faster than a builder downs a pint in the pub.
I wonder how it works. It's a miracle that a mechanical lung of this size...
Oh! We got a line cut off. This size can purify so much air without letting out any waste.
Can purify so much air
Oh,
without
wait.
letting out any waste.
We got a weird cut there.
The smog's getting thinner. I can see more clearly now.
Look, it's even purifying the smog all the way out there. I dare say the ivy on my balcony will be enjoying fresh air within the hour.
Mr. Fogg's smiling, Dad! Ain't that great?
Don't worry about it, Designer Giz. Don't ask questions.
It is. We ain't seen him smile for ages.
The hat looks happy too! It's dancing!
Is he doing that Australian Ranger dance again? Oh, look at the expression on those Foundation officers' faces.
What are you talking about?
They don't look happy or mad. Is something wrong?
Whoa! What's going on? The machine's shaking like hell.
Oh, shit.
What's that sound? Some kind of alarm?
Oh, no!
Christ! Cover your ears, Freddy. That howling will make you deaf. What in the bloody hell is going on?
It does sort of seem like sabotage, doesn't it? I'm just echoing what Sarah said earlier. That's not my original thought. Oh boy.
Step into the fairy.
Also, can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? I can't think about that scene with Flutterpage and Willow too long, because it literally makes me choke up. Like, I was trying not to cry that whole time. That shit fucking hurted, bro. Oh god, like, thinking about it is like, no, I can't do it! No, I can't do it! We're stopping. Oh my fucking god.
This one.
Oh boy. Oh god.
Copy that. Let's shake hands. Or this one.
Wait, what is this? At the end of the round, dispel all poison for characters for each instance of poison dispelled. At the start of the round, when having dispelled, this unit gains your equal +1. Okay. Oh boy. It's the weirdest shit that gets to me. I don't even know.
Time to turn the page.
I should have put in a stronger team. Oh, actually, yeah. You know what? This is gonna take a bit actually, because there's 16 of the enemies. I'm just gonna put in a stronger team. Oh god, my Kokoro. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do...
Ha! Inexperienced adult?
Okay, this should clear a bit faster. Got channel.
Newly made this year.
Debuff.
Charging.
1, 2.
Enjoy.
Now dance.
Barrage. Eliminate target.
Okay, so we go...
Charging.
Actually, I'm gonna refresh here. Yep, there we
Another
go.
jar?
That should be enough. That should be
Charging.
enough.
Great decision.
You don't want to miss it.
Target confirmed. The light that illuminates all.
Hold on to that.
There they are.
Oh, big guys! Refresh one more time.
You only made
Trick 'em in.
Loading, charging.
Enjoy!
Everyone has their own destination.
Barrage. Eliminate target.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Kind of want full stacks here. So if we do.
Create division.
Circuits functioning properly. Charging. Loading. I, Robot, Child of Sun.
Get him, Lucy!
Aim and shoot. The light that illuminates all.
I should still have one more turn on that, I think. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna push it. Yeah, no, we're just gonna.
Charging.
Actually, I think we'd get more out of it if we did.
Loading. Charging. Loading. Charging. Faraday's Miracle. Barrage.
Maybe do one more, and then this should
Eliminate
kill.
target.
Oh, we wasted the follow-up. That's fine. We got another ult up. What the fuck? Look at his ass. Oh.
I remember it's
I don't know what happened. We aren't gonna worry about it.
Dad?
Freddy, are you all right?
Oh, the thing fucking exploded.
I'm fine. It's the machine. It blew up.
What?
First, the pipe blew open. Then its glass belly shattered, and the mechanical lung rolled out from inside. It's vomiting up black blood.
There's no way.
And Mr. Fogg.
What happened to him?
He's coughing and coughing.
Oh, man.
3.5 minutes.
Well, I guess neither one of us won that bet. It didn't even last half as long as I predicted.
Don't be cruel, Gregory. We didn't come all this way just to laugh at these poor people.
But they did do even worse than predicted. That's a fact, isn't it? And it proves that the London Climate Management Agency is nothing but a joke.
Listen, Gregory, I know you must be exhausted from the long journey and your constant sneezing, but you can't say that to their faces. Let's just do our job and give them the news.
Gregory, stop being a fucking cunt.
What news?
She flips through the athlete roster in her hand.
We have to tell them.
She verifies the list, ensuring that all names of the Arcanist athletes are accounted for. When she's done, she lightly pats Mr. Fogg on the shoulder.
Mr. Fogg? Mr. Fogg?
Mr. Fogg turns his head, his eyes vacant. It seems he hasn't yet got over the shock of this series of events.
Please move aside. I need to use the microphone.
Shit. Mr. Fogg slowly steps aside.
Oi, miss. What are you...
He quickly realizes the impropriety of his obstruction, tips his brim, and floats gently in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming to the ceremony today. We greatly appreciate your hospitality, and it heartens us to see you thriving despite the difficulties caused by the smog. However, It is clear to us that the London Air Pollution Auto-Detecting Purifier Mark III is not able to fulfill its duty.
Like, as shitty as it is, she's not wrong, you know?
Barring an effective solution, the smog shrouding London will do irreversible damage to both the athletes and the general populace if they stay outdoors for too long.
She even put barring an effective solution.
In light of this, and after much consideration, the Uluru International Committee has decided to cancel the London qualifiers for the Uluru Games. We will announce arrangements for the affected players once internal discussions are over.
Behind her cold mask, the woman methodically scans the crowd. The previously raucous energy of the crowd has been replaced by a uniform disappointment.
Thank you all
for
your hard work.
Son of a bitch. No!
What? You saying that the London qualifiers have been cancelled?
I'm afraid so. I wasn't there, but Mr. Brimley told me what happened in the stadium. Mr. Fogg has locked himself in his office. He's refusing to speak to anyone.
Fuck, he must be absolutely destroyed.
It seems there's nothing we can do about it.
Willow pulls her hand away from Flutter Pages and gives her a solemn look. Without a word, she turns and leaves.
Miss Willow? Where are you going? Miss Willow! Miss Willow!
She tries to chase after her, but a flood of workers sent to take down the site blocks her way.
Miss Willow!
Willow turns and gives her one last glance, before slipping away into the bustling crowd. Flutterpage lifts her head, her eyes meeting Tooth Fairy's.
Miss Tooth Fairy. Why?
Man, yeah, Flutterpage has wind magic, but she can't quite control it yet, and the power of one arcanist isn't going to be enough to, like, clear up the fucking city. Like, Mr. Fogg comes from a lineage of fogwalkers who is an arcane clan with the ability to manage the fog, right? And if he can't fucking do shit about it, like, maybe she can help for sure, but I don't think she's going to be like the Deus Ex Machina that brings everything back. Well, on that happy note, we'll be finishing the event next Sunday, same time. We're gonna have some time though, because we're a little bit over halfway, so maybe we have some time to do like some other stuff. Maybe I'd probably do Willow's side story, I'd imagine, as well next week. But we'll be finishing up next week. Love this art style so much. I'm happy. I love it too. I love this game dearly. I want it to live forever. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. We're gonna raid on into the main channel. Veggie BL. Let me just make sure they're live. Yes. Okay, everything's live now. Thank you putting up for excessive shipping of rival. No, you were so valid. I couldn't get a read on them either. I'm like, oh, okay, they were rivals. Oh, they're totally exes. Oh, no, wait, they fucking hate each other. I actually really like their dynamic. It's not very obvious, you know? It actually has some nuance to it. And
you and I have a
Willow,
contract.
Who we've been cheering for.
Now the gifted a tier 1 sub to Veggie Tail. They have given 10 gift subs in the channel.
But yes, thank you very much, Nalva, for the gift subs. Appreciate it. Veggie Tail is live, so I'll be over there in like a couple of minutes to do bingo. And I will see you there. If I'm not going to see you there, I hope I see you eventually. The raid message is Poglog. Poglog!
It's so quiet. How is everyone?
She's like, you inspired me to do this, and Willow's like, oh, so you're coming to take my spot. You were just here to show off. You don't give a shit about me. You stole my stuff. And she's like, excuse me? Hello? But yeah, I'll see you guys later. We're gonna do some bingo. Bye!